I hear this a lot. People say, hey, you know what? Besides the birth of my children, best day of my life. Best day of my life. Birth of my 3 children. Y'all, I experienced the birth of my child. Very special, yes. Memorable, of course. The best? I mean, have y'all done a winery tour? Yeah, I love it. It was an amazing day, but the best, I tailgated for 8 hours Saturday. That is the best. That's the best. Wheeling my wife around for 12 hours, less fun, but very special.
Welcome back, everybody. Another Correct Opinions episode. I met someone in a new and unique way yesterday.
That's fun.
Have you ever met someone and then immediately helped them move?
No, that's only you could get roped into that. How could that possibly happen? Oh, a little frog in your throat there.
Hold on here.
All the moving.
Basically, a friend of mine texted me a few days ago and was just like, hey, got a buddy who's just moved to Kansas City, needs some help moving. And I was just like, yeah.
Yeah. You came to the right guy.
During football on Sunday, count me in.
Yeah.
Wow.
You moved a guy on NFL
You're
Sunday?
Super nice.
It's during the afternoon slate, so,
Yeah, what's that like? Because it's a complete stranger. You see what his belongings are and stuff?
So, yeah, it was unique
fun.
because it's one thing to like, hey, I meet someone, we're out to dinner, and you kind of pick up on things based on how they look, what they order, what they eat. But getting to see every single one of their belongings is a great way to get to know someone. It's a very unique way to like spend your first 30 minutes with someone.
You need this much Kleenex? What?
There were a couple of things. I think there were weird multiples of things, which we would all probably have if we moved. But I think we unloaded 2 lawnmowers. And it was like, okay, one for the front, one for the back. That's fine.
That's fine.
But then there was like, other multiple of things. There was also just a period of like, I'm trying to like crack some jokes here and there. Like he would stay in the truck. He'd hand stuff to us and tell us where it goes in the house. So, he'd get a lawnmower and he'd say like, living room. And, be like, okay, it's going to the garage.
Yeah, funny, yeah.
But then there were a few times where he would hand me something. He'd be like, living room. Like, is that
actually...
Yeah. Does that go in the
He's like,
I don't know. Actually.
That's my actual lawnmower. That's my decorative lawnmower. And it does go in the living room. This isn't funny, dude.
Big
this isn't all fun and games.
Yeah, one of them was he handed me a ladder and said nursery. And I was like, well, maybe he's got stuff to hang up.
Does he have a baby?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Did he hand you the baby? Shed.
Outside. Yeah, I don't know. But it was fun and just a fun way to kind of get sweaty and learn kind of the ins and outs of someone's house. And just if you like to judge people, you would love what I did yesterday during the afternoon.
I moved someone once who was like a friend of a friend, and I was like, I just don't think I could ever be friends with this person. It's very unorganized. We were also cleaning as part of the moving process. You should have done this already.
No.
What am I doing?
That's a bummer when you go to help someone move out and it's not boxed up yet.
Exactly. That was what happened. They're like, the stuff's still on the walls. Like, yeah, let's take that stuff off. I'm like, this is... I guess this is still moving, but there's a basic understanding here that you've boxed it up, you've cleaned the house. We're just moving the big items.
You're there to like lift, like borderline squat, power clean, and jerk. That's what you're there for, not to box things up.
The fact that they had a baby and stuff makes it sound a lot better. Like I was like, was it really necessary to go help this like single guy go move by himself? But that kind of makes more sense.
Yeah, I wasn't just like, I had to move a bunch of like seltzer boxes that he wants to keep. He says they're decor.
I'm like, how much stuff does this guy have?
No, he's married with a kid. Okay, then again, I never saw the kid. Oh. Maybe a creep.
Or the wife. I'm married with 3 kids. So I could really use the help.
That's true. There was a woman just sitting on the ground.
There's only one bed in the whole house.
That's true. I honestly don't know if it was his wife.
The nursery is just ladders and tools. It's up in the nursery.
Nursery?
Huh.
Interesting. All right. Well, heard it here first. We need to move. Jake will help. Anyone ask questions?
I won't.
Yeah.
I'll have the time of my life.
Thanks for listening once again. Lots of shows still left. Go to TreyKeenan.com/tour. Come see us. Come hang out. And thanks for listening as always. Let's roll music.
Correct opinions. Correct opinions.
What has 4 letters, starts with a W, and it's something I hate?
Worm.
No, wait.
Dang it.
Well, yeah, the waiting game is no fun.
No, you love worms. What am I thinking?
Yeah.
Sorry. No.
Earthworms, ring. When you're hiring, you need Indeed because you don't need to wait. You need good talent fast. And that is where Indeed is the hiring platform where you can attract, interview, and hire all in one place. That's what you need. Streamline hiring with their powerful tools like Instant Match. Over 80% of employers get quality candidates whose resume on Indeed matches their job description the moment they sponsor a job.
Let's say you've got a worm farm. You need a guy to feed the worms. Would you want someone instantly to match with your hiring credentials? Yes,
Yeah,
Indeed can do that. Worm farm feeder.
Start hiring now with the $75 sponsored job credits. Upgrade your job post at Indeed.com/Trey. Offer good for limited time. Claim your $75 credit now at Indeed.com/Trey. Just go to Indeed.com/Trey. Support the show. Say you heard about it from us. Indeed.com/Trey. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire? You need Indeed.
So, last night,
Like, Katie, why don't you tell a story?
Anyway, I
Just did it again.
had a pretty scary experience. Not scary, but I'm a little concerned. Last night, we've kind of talked about on the podcast before that we will wake up in the middle of the night and like think Thomas is in the bed or something, kind of freak out. And what a different kind of experience last night where I woke
Trey
up.
was on top of me when I woke up, staring at me.
All right. Anyway, I woke up and I was
Mommy.
halfway down the hallway to Thomas's room and realized, like, I thought that I was carrying him into his room, and then woke up and realized I was just alone in the hallway.
Oh, that's freaky.
That is freaky. Did it freak you out?
Man.
Yes,
Did you go into his room and see if he's there?
I
You just went back to bed.
I truly stood in the hallway for like 30 seconds.
Well,
and
don't do
just kind of
that.
like-
That's horrifying. What if I had come across that?
I was just kind of really
Where's
I was having
baby
to process
Thomas?
what was happening.
Katie McConnell just out there just
Yeah.
I just was so confused because then I'm like, is he in his room? Is he in our room? Why? So then I just eventually just came back into our room, checked the monitor. He was in his bed and went back to sleep.
So you actually didn't physically look at him. You checked the monitor.
Yeah.
Even
'cause
after all that.
I didn't want to wake him up, but
Okay.
it was very disturbing.
I would say. So you woke yourself up from sleepwalking? I think that's kind of rare.
Yeah.
Powerful.
I mean, because
I
I
don't
don't
like that.
I
Don't start
either.
sleepwalking. Whoa.
I don't
You have to barricade the door.
I know. And this was like, is it possible to sleepwalk and go pick up Thomas? Like what I do. Is that
Oh man.
Seems like
Add
it.
it to the list of worries. I can't believe so creative in her nightmares. What if there's so many bugs on the ceiling fan falls and crushes Thomas?
That's, you get in the habit of, just caring, providing, working all day, and then you can't turn it off. Even while you're sleeping. You're like, I want to provide. I want to care.
She really can't.
It was
Hey, do you have a history of sleepwalking?
no.
I sound like a doctor now. Are you on any prescription medication that would cause this?
Yes.
No and no. So
Anything happened
really-
recently in your life that would cause you to be crazy?
Yeah, could this be a trauma response? I'm married to a therapist, so I'm kind of learning some.
Yeah.
Okay.
Trauma.
Keywords.
Trigger warning.
Yeah, maybe some hormones still kind of
No,
arise.
those
it's not
hormones.
that.
Okay,
It could
okay.
be.
Okay.
They're pretty active. He's got some good ones.
Really?
They're strong.
Which one's your favorite?
Oh, probably the morning ones, I think.
Yeah.
The morning
You
one.
can't
Yeah,
organize
no,
it
it's
by
like
time
when
of
I'm
day.
sitting there like having a cup of coffee and she's like, so you're literally just like not gonna clean this bowl like I cleaned the last time. You're not gonna clean, and I mean like really early, like within 10 minutes of being up. That's when I like it the most.
Cool. That's a fun hormone.
Yeah.
Rachel has not slept walk yet, but she's been doing this thing pretty regularly where within like 15 minutes of sleeping, like at night, I feel like that's when she's doing some weird stuff. So I think we talked about before. She woke up and goes, "Where's my suitcase?"
Oh yeah.
She did that. She's starting to do some other stuff. Last night, I kid you not, which usually it's kind of like a roll over, kind of groggy, like, where did he go? Like a sleep voice. Last night, there was no movement. It was like she was on the phone with someone, and she just goes, "Whoa, that's a lot of bugs. Oh my gosh." And like just perfect English. It was not like she was sleeping. She'd been asleep 20, 30 minutes. That is a lot of bugs. Oh my gosh.
That is so frightening.
I like kind of backed away, but
And her
like,
eyes
just
open or
like-
closed?
She was turned away from me, so I don't know. Luckily, she's always facing the wall when she's doing this, so I just kind of pet her back, like, "There's not that many bugs. It's okay."
Yeah, we'll get the bug guy out.
You know, what's funny is I did have to. It was put on my list today of things to do. Is call the pest control.
She's like,
guy.
"There's a reason I said it. There's a reason."
That I think anything people do in their sleep is freaky. Like it just feels like they're possessed or something.
Oh, when I hear
eyes closed.
my sister would sleep talk. So like, growing up, going to the lake or somewhere where we're sleeping in the same room, it would scare me to my core.
Yeah, my sister Sleepwalks. She'd just walk out of her. I mean, she's probably like 8 years old. Just walk out of her room. Me and my parents are watching King of Queens or something. She just stares there in the hallway, looking at us.
Oh,
See,
no.
like, Kaylin, go back to sleep. Go back to sleep. You're freaking us out.
That's freaky.
Didn't love that.
Go ahead.
My freshman roommate in college who I got paired up with randomly. Great guy. David, you're the man. Ended up living together 2 years. Solid friendship. However, a little bit of a sleep talker, but not what we would know as English. So he would just like, I'm up like working, doing something, and he would just like sit up.
That's way.
I didn't
That's
like
way
that.
weirder than that's a lot of bugs. They would just be like, or they start laughing.
Yeah.
That's when I went.
Ew, that is so creepy.
Oh my god, that's what my sister would do.
She would laugh in her sleep.
I don't really know. You hear that in the middle of the night?
Yeah, I did not like the
Freaky.
gibberish. It's
No.
like it sounds like English gibberish, but still, I don't like not understanding it.
So we need to. We can't let this start becoming a thing.
Yeah.
I agree.
Eradicate.
I agree.
Figure it out.
May just meant you're sleeping really well, or more hormones. Maybe the hormones are more nocturnal now, which is fine. I don't have to deal with them.
Doesn't really affect you. Yeah.
It's nice
don't
when
know.
the hormones. I think you learn once you're married. It's all about not keeping score, right? You never do that. No, you're not supposed to do that. At all.
Oh, I love it.
Rachel is a therapist. She might have already told you this. Once you have a kid, you got to keep score.
Okay, that's when
That's
you
the only
started.
way you can be on the same team, really. You're
I
like,
did 5 diapers.
Exactly. Yeah. So you're like, well, I was up twice in the night with Thomas because he's sick. So now I have to cook and clean. But if she slept soundly, maybe I cook and then she clean.
Okay.
And so you got to really balance that out and keep good score. And we're finding a good way to do that.
Yeah, we just keep a dry erase board on, in our home, and we just.
I don't think that's a bad idea at all.
No,
Dude, it was the best thing ever. I watched Thomas while she had a girls' night, and the next night we were all hanging out as friends watching some football, and a lot of the wives are like, "All right, come on, it's getting late." You watch college football, some of those games go to 1, 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
So we're like, we're dialed in. A lot of the wives were going, let's get these guys out of here. Let's wrap
All
up.
right,
And
let's
she
end the
goes-
game.
She goes, well, Trey did watch him all last night. It's like, I'm fine with him staying. And that's when a whole new world opened up in my eyes.
Yeah.
But you know, what's
If I
funny?
do things, I get things. Because you used to not. You'd be like, no matter. We just go out at a certain. Now it's keeping score, man. And I've got a few points right now. I've got a few points. What did I? No.
You used them already, so sorry.
Yesterday I kind of used them. Huh?
You sure did.
NFL Sunday.
That's the day before. It was NFL Sunday, but the day before, I took care of him. I made us lunch. I did a lot.
We went shopping. You held him while I shopped.
I held him. He was
But
puking
you
on me
did-
in a girl's boutique shop.
Yeah.
Score a lot
was
of points.
crazy
there.
points,
That's at
yeah.
least an hour of football. That alone.
Yeah. Well, he watched
So,
about
you
8
get it back.
yesterday. So I think
I made your lunch
he's-
today.
You
Those
sure
some good
did,
points.
You sure did.
That's fun. I'll have to bring up. I should circle back to the people who I did premarital counseling with and see, like, hey, so I'm hearing about this scorekeeping. You guys never told me about that. Can I get a lesson on that? Can we do a night of it?
I thought it was funny too on that night when I was like, it's fine. He watched him last night. All of my friends were like, no, Katie, are you kidding me? You had one night out. That does not mean.
Wow.
You should have. I was like,
they don't
oh,
get
wow.
it. They don't get it. They're
They
live
are,
seeing
yeah.
the score. That's a funny bit. It's like, and part of why I did that today for lunch is because it's Monday and there's Monday Night Football on. I'd really like to tune in.
Sure.
See,
It's smart. And I think
You know what's
that's a funny
is
bit.
that I
There's-
know. I know what you're doing.
That's a funny sketch we should shoot where
I
it's
think
like
this-
like during football season or during like golf season, you can count on having the best husband imaginable.
Yeah.
Like because he's just earning points
Okay,
to
yesterday.
eventually be like, babe, I'm gonna watch football for 8 hours now.
Yesterday
Okay.
you were
Granted.
very cheerful and helpful and nice getting out the door, and we were a little bit later getting out the
From
door.
like 7 to noon.
And
Really
then,
helpful.
And then
Oh,
all
the
of a
best husband in the
sudden,
world.
all of a sudden, I'm like, why are we driving this way up to the pool? And I'm like,
Don't do this.
I guess we're having to go through Kansas, and that's maybe why you were so
He's
helpful
back.
Well, he's
and
back.
nice.
He's back. I put in 30 bets, small ones.
Okay.
And it's amazing how I ended like I'd lost $3.
Just
I mean, I
everything,
bet
just
Every-
one step
just
forward, one
like-
step backwards.
Yeah. Won half of them, lost half of them. And that's how it should be. I got some fun out of it. I didn't lose money basically and had a great time.
That is fun. I do like the idea of a sketch. I see it as like Katie going to like her friends or whatever, a women's support group. Like, my husband is so great. Like, at the start of every fall, like the first weekend of April and like mid-March. Yeah. What is going on? Or something like that.
Yeah. She's clueless.
Yeah.
Yeah. March Madness comes around. You start building those points up, man. Love it. Let's get to some fan videos. Doesn't that sound fun?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, you can send in videos for us to respond to at our email, make it much easier, correct@treykennedy.com, correct@treykennedy.com. Videos, whatever you want to send us, we'd love to check it out. Derek, play us one of these from our fine listeners, the Recties.
Hey everyone. I love the podcast.
Does she sleep
I
talk?
have been a listener since 2020,
And where are the
and I
bars?
just look forward to it every week. I was dying laughing yesterday when y'all were talking about Trey and Katie doing weird stuff in their sleep. Whenever the baby was waking them up. We have a 3-month-old, so we've definitely had some times like that. I am very rude in my sleep. My husband walked
Trey.
in one time and I was sleeping and I said, is this all just a big joke to you? And I've just said other like provoking things like that. And then the other night,
Is this a big joke to
I
you?
rolled over and my husband was just grinning at me with his eyes open. And so I just told him to go back to sleep. And he just laughed. And then
Oh my gosh.
a few hours later, he was mumbling to himself. And so I was telling him to go back to sleep again. And he said, box it out. And then he went like this.
Sports guy.
And
Yeah.
I went back to sleep. So yeah, he's just a very happy sleeper where I'm just very angry. And we've definitely just had some confusing moments with the baby waking us up. So I just thought it was so funny that y'all have had the same thing.
Oh my gosh.
Thanks for all the laughs and being relatable as new parents. Have a great day.
Well, thank you. Oh man, she said
The hand signal next
he
level.
kept doing hang loose. Box it out, box it out.
She rolled over and he was just smiling.
Box it out.
That is terrifying.
Oh, that's funny.
My sweet, innocent wife, very nice. She may or may not have hit me twice while sleeping. So
Dang, that'll some people. Yeah, I guess every couple there's a mean one in the sleep. I'm so mean in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Half awake. She's learned. She just lets it go by. Thank you, but initially she's like, "What you said to me last night was unbelievable." I was like, "I don't. I'm
do
not
not
even
remember doing it.
conscious. I'm sorry." You're very kind all the time.
I like when Rachel has slept talk. I feel like I've heard some people like, hey, on their sleep, they're like saying F-bombs or whatever. Rachel, exact
Like
same.
Tourette's.
Like she had something freaked out in her sleep and she was like, jeepers. I like that she's still saying jeepers
Yeah.
in her sleep. Sleep jeepers.
Somehow it gets more kind, more sheltered.
Oh, golly. Anyway, that was funny. I don't know if she ever said her name, but that's great. Box it out. Box it out.
Is this a big joke to you? That's hilarious. All right. Thank you for that. What else? What's up, fans? What's up, Recties?
What's up, guys? My name is Andy. I'm from
Could have
the
guessed.
417 land. So
Oh.
I know Jake and family man Derek will appreciate that.
Yeah.
I have a couple
Is that
questions.
like a-
I am a
is that like a
day
right-wing Facebook
one
group? What is that?
Recty OG, so I appreciate you guys. Couple things, not even really questions so much as observations. One for Jake, one for Trey. Jake, I remember from back in the day, early podcast days, one of my favorite bits, if it even was a bit, was your strange infatuation, love of your sister, okay? And I can remember
He's
one of my
417.
all-time favorite podcast memories is when you told the story of you had to be a secret photographer at your sister's engagement and how you just sat behind that partition weeping as your sister was proposed to.
What?
But now things have gone on. You've moved on. You're now married. So I guess my observation question is, do they look alike? Trey, my favorite Trey Kennedy memory, this I think even predates podcast. I remember
It's really sweet. It's like talking to my mom or something.
you put out a video, and I just wanted to get an insight into your mindset here. I don't remember if squirrels were terrorizing your yard.
Oh, yeah.
What squirrels? Something about squirrels. You put out a video of yourself in a full squirrel suit acting like a squirrel. It was my favorite thing you've ever done. I was sharing it with everybody, loving it. But within, I don't know, 48 hours, it was gone. It had been taken down.
Yep.
So I don't know. Were you ashamed of the squirrel? Was it too real? What was the mindset with the squirrel?
Man.
Peace out, guys. Appreciate you.
Thanks, dude.
There's a lot to unpack there.
I think the problem was that Andy was the only one who watched that squirrel video.
Yeah.
That's why I got taken down. It was only Andy and his friends.
I don't know. I didn't realize you took that video down.
I don't know. I'm going to see if I can dig it up here. Or Derek, would you scroll back on my Instagram to like...
PETA involved or
No,
It's
what would
probably
that have been?
2019
2019
or
or something?
Is it Quad 6? I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Out of respect to Jake's now brother-in-law, we had a convo. And we're gonna stop the whole his feelings about his sister. He's moved on.
The joke about it.
The joke about it.
The joke from the start.
Yeah.
The
Did
bit.
I miss something?
Yeah, it's just guys doing jokes. You know?
I will say, weeping behind a partition. That was
his own flair on it.
that was created by Andy himself.
What partition? What's a partition? What?
Tom Hanks was in a movie
Catholic
called
Confession.
Yeah, I don't know. He was in a movie called Road to Perdition. Is that similar?
Maybe the same. Yeah, it's like an accent thing. The 417 accent.
Partition. Yeah.
Would you say they look like your sister and Rachel?
I wouldn't. Blue eyes, but white.
Same. Yeah. You start describing. Same beautiful blue eyes.
Blonde hair?
Still got that smile that lights up.
Hair
the room.
smells the same. Still got a smile that
They
lights up.
sleep talk the same. I'll tell you
Yeah,
that.
I'll tell you what. Both cuddlers.
No, I don't know how that got started, but yeah, we definitely kept
either.
that alive for a while. I was like, I took my sister's engagement photos, and Trey's like, man, I bet you were bummed. Like, that was such
okay. Yeah, sorry.
but I don't remember how it got started. But that's the kind of joke that people that close to Arkansas and Southwest Missouri love. They love those kind of
love
jokes.
They love
Yeah.
the sexual
Derek,
kind
just
of.
Google. They do, yeah. Yeah, that's how we've really locked in on that demographic.
You're welcome.
Just Google Trey Kennedy squirrel. Should be able to pop up something on TikTok. Not proud of. You seeing that?
So it wasn't fully deleted, like unlisted on YouTube, but
It might have been. I might have archived it then brought it back. I don't know, but it popped up on. Yeah, watch this.
I remember. Well,
I don't know.
just-
A little pause. A little context. Is this YouTube? Where is this? This
It's
is
TikTok.
This is
It's
TikTok.
horizontal.
Wow. I just we're just trying all sorts of ideas, and for some reason I just thought like, oh, it's because my neighborhood is just so many squirrels.
I remember you coming to me and just being like, dude, there's so many squirrels in my neighborhood. I feel like I almost hit
It was like
11
it was
a
the
day.
middle of the night. I was like, yeah, you have to answer. You're gonna want to hear this. What if I acted like a squirrel, and that's it?
Yeah. Trey has like, hey, can you come over here? It's 3 a.m.
This is like
squirrely.
pretty early on of you guys working together.
I feel like it probably was. And I remember it was probably our first iteration of one of those videos where like, I don't know
I
how
remember-
this is going to do.
It's a little different than what we were doing, but I was like, as squirrels, relatable.
Everybody
And
said
halfway
squirrel.
through shooting it, I remember I paused and I go, is this dumb? And you're kind of like, it might be dumb, yeah.
Yeah.
Like in the midst of it, we're kind of like, this isn't. I think I might have edited it, and I was trying everything. Like I just don't. I tried to put some weird music behind it and speed. It just wasn't getting there, and I was like, we'll see what happens. So I posted it, and
I will say I don't remember this music.
the attic's funny. The attic's funny.
I had attic squirrel.
We just drove around until we found a dog finally.
Squirrel.
The music's
The
interesting.
music.
It feels like a squirrel's type of music, doesn't it?
Cheese.
The whistles.
This is not my song choice. I feel forgot you had a little acorn.
Oh, that's a pretty good impression of a squirrel eating an acorn. That's it.
He loved it.
What do you think of that, Katie?
I remember you doing this, and I'm trying to. I wish we could remember
it's
exactly
weird 'cause
when you
certain-
made this.
I think it
because-
was. I bet it was fall of 2018.
It says
I could tell by-
September 2019.
Oh, 2019. Never mind.
This is when it was posted
So-
on TikTok, at least.
So maybe you
Oh,
did
yeah,
it
it was-
before then. But
I
I
don't
just
know,
remember
it's-
we were dating, engaged, something, and I just remember thinking like,
Wait
no,
a second.
No, about my.
Hold on.
Is this
No,
a-
it's
is
March.
This, what we're doing?
This one says March of 2019. Interesting. So maybe I
Yeah.
waited later to post a TikTok. I found it on Instagram here.
I found it on Instagram too. Yeah.
That's almost 1 million views on Instagram. I think.
I think it was pretty early on. I could tell by the
Yeah.
how it looked, which camera I was using, which I switched over to in like January of 2019.
That's weird how real big fans will bring up like Squirrel One's my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, but it's not though. But I get what you're saying. I get what you're doing.
Oh yeah, people are like, you know what? Favorite jean shorts video ever was the mechanics one. Remember when we shot that one outside of a coffee shop? Like that's the one.
Yeah,
well,
they're just messing with you. They'll get the joke that it's the worst video they ever made, right?
they're probably well aware. Everyone tells them.
Yeah, squirrel. And it was a good impression of eating an acorn though.
Yeah, it was a little too good. Like, did you study some squirrels before you filmed?
Oh, I watch them.
Yeah.
Big fan of squirrels. Okay, what other fan videos? We got another one or two.
Hey Trey, Jake, Katie, and Family and Derek.
Hey.
I wanted
Yo.
to submit a video after hearing the public school teacher last week talk about homeschoolers.
My hair like
I was
sister.
homeschooled from 1st to 10th grade,
Shout out homeschool.
and I wanted to reply to her comment that all homeschoolers are weird and say that she is correct. It was very weird. Including after I went to school. It took several years to recover. Thankfully, I married a very normal man who went to public school, and I've been taking years of etiquette classes to recover my social skills.
Yeah, that's
And
how you
now,
get good socially.
when someone tells me they never knew I was homeschooled, it's the biggest compliment they can give me.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
I did not. That was like an M. Night Shyamalan twist there. I thought she was about to lay in like, how dare you? She's like, yep, I'm still trying to deal with it. I think that sounds like an extreme case. Listen, I like to make fun of homeschoolers as much as the next guy, but I've never told him to take etiquette classes. She's really trying to level up out here.
Etiquette classes, at least what I'm imagining, is like the salad fork goes on the left.
Right.
But maybe that's something else. What is an etiquette class?
No, I mean,
Yeah,
that
it's a little
is-
bit of that.
That
A little bit of
is.
that. Learn how to dance properly.
Yeah.
I don't know. Or it's like they're like, where do I put the butter knife? And then she'd be like, oh, first I got to go make the butter. They're like, no, you don't. You can just buy it at stores.
Which side of the kitchen do I churn it?
No. Listen, you don't. You just buy butter at store. Just sit down.
Okay, so butter knife on the right.
Yes,
and how
yes.
do I look people in the eyes?
Well,
When do we go over that?
That's less. That's the fourth lesson. Okay.
God.
But yeah, you can. You don't have to. Yeah, you can stay seated. You can sit before.
I want
the
to
man.
marry my brother.
No. That's bad etiquette.
Yeah, I'm. Yeah.
Like, now what are you supposed to do before you eat? They're like,
Slaughter.
No. Before that, recite the book of Psalms. Well, that's good. I wouldn't do it at parties. That's I didn't see that coming. Shout out our homeschooled listeners. I love a good homeschooler. People, there's getting a lot of talk out here. I have a friend who might homeschool. You start talking about schools with people, that's a lame combo. What school to send them to?
That's a lame combo.
Ugh.
Yeah, I'm a homeschool advocate. Like some of my best friends grew up homeschooled, would know a thing, and they didn't take etiquette classes. So
And are they married?
Mhm.
To strangers?
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
People they didn't grow up with.
Yeah.
I found out recently one of our friends thought that I would only send our child to a private school.
Yeah, Katie's giving off some.
What kind of vibe is that?
Apparently,
little
one
bit.
of my best friend's girlfriend, who's we're getting to know, was like, oh my gosh, there's no way Katie would ever send a kid to public school. I guarantee you that.
Do I
Miss McDonald's over here?
Yeah.
Do
3 months McDonald's?
Do I send off like a stuck-up vibe or something?
Yeah, I think so.
I need to work on that. I need to work on that.
I definitely get that vibe.
Oh no.
Interesting.
No, I don't know. It would take a special kind of person for me to just be like, yeah, there's no way you'd send a kid to public school. Like, that's a pretty like judgmental thing to say.
Right? I'm just like, I'm really having to like self-reflect here.
Yeah, that's not fun. I'm sorry you're going through that.
I'm like, I mean, I went to a public school. You really don't know my background.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that'd be tough. You'd just be rethinking anything you've ever said. You'd be like, did
Well,
we ever had a conversation about public school?
It might be how much I like kind of bowed mouth you when you're not there to her.
Oh,
Maybe
that's
that's it.
nothing
Yeah, like,
to do with me.
she's so high maintenance. And,
I
and like,
see,
she
I
won't
see.
keep score right.
She loves
She goes up to the dry erase board and she races it.
she loves plaid skirts and collared shirts and
Rugby shirts.
yeah.
Okay,
see.
let's go. Let's do one more.
Something tells me they're not all going to be the same vibe as her.
Hey, Jake and Trey, Katie and Thomas, and Family Man. I'm Grace, and I wanted to tell you about the inadvertent beef I started with my neighbor. So we moved into this house around Christmas time, and I wanted to get to know the neighbors, so I baked a bunch of Christmas cookies and went around introducing myself. So I went up to this one particular
etiquette.
house
Yeah.
and knocked on the door, and on either side of the door there are these windows, and I could see kids' faces in
I
them.
like her horseshoe earrings.
I didn't want to look into the windows and be creepy, so I just kept them in my periphery, but I could tell you that there was 3 kids on this side and 1 kid on this side. So the mom opens the door, and we're chatting, and we're introducing ourselves. She introduces 3 of the kids, and then just keeps talking. And so I kind of thought it was weird, and I shouldn't have brought anything up, but after a little bit, I go, oh, and is there another kid? And she goes, huh? And look at the window finally, and it is an elf decoration. So I was implying that she was keeping one of her kids secret, and it's been weird since then.
It's been weird since then.
Well, that's the end of it. Hey, good for you though,
for
Grace.
you.
You're like, hey, looking out. I watched a couple, trafficking videos, and I'm on the
Yeah.
lookout now.
Yeah, I'm on the lookout. I like that. Great. She had some great, very nice presentation. Hello, my name is Grace, and this is the story. And
Yeah.
so she's, I think, maybe she was homeschooled. Grace, let us know, because
Name like Grace, probably.
right the way, because there's like a poor social skills, and then they get too good. Or like you were trained really.
Oh
good.
wow, you're not saying
Yeah.
or ever.
Yeah,
You're
I
very
see.
solid.
that's it's like a bell curve.
Yeah.
Wow.
Homeschoolers. Yeah, I love the earrings. What do you say? Mouthpiece? Were those horseshoes?
I went
Mouthpiece?
magnet.
Magnet. What do you think they were, Katie?
There's a lot of earrings like that out there. Have you not seen that?
Yeah, but what shape? What
A rainbow.
No, not if she's homeschooled. Not these days. It'd have to be a specific kind.
It'd have to be the one from
really-
Genesis and that one only.
Yeah. So I love the idea of coming up, baking cookies and meeting family members or meeting neighbors. Sorry, especially these days, it's a lot, right?
Yeah.
People want to keep their own. So to come over with that type of energy and be like, "Here's our 3 kids," she's like, "Are you hiding one?" You'd be like, "All right, why don't you get off my porch, crazy lady?"
Could you imagine somebody being like, and is there another one? And you'd be like, what?
That'd be so like, this is Katie and my little boy Thomas, and thanks so much for the cookies. She's like, "Any more kids you got back there?"
And
Like, excuse me?
are you not going to introduce me to your other wife?
Yeah. I know you. Hey, I've been watching. I know you got another kid. In there.
Right, I know. It's like, are you watching my house?
I don't. Maybe our friend had a kid over yesterday. Yeah, that was the one.
Saw him come in,
so
never saw him
funny.
leave.
Oh, that's an elf. He's in trouble. He doesn't get to meet the neighbors. Merry Christmas.
That's funny, Grace. Sounds like, well, good try.
Has any neighbors brought you baked goods? We hit our neighbors with some baked goods the other day.
Oh, wow.
They
Just
said they
'cause?
liked them.
Yes.
They've been very kind to us. They brought us. It's a very sweet elderly Mexican woman. She brought me some tamales one day.
Nice.
Fired. It was fire.
Abuela.
Abuela. Yeah, that's what I call her.
Yeah, good.
Any more grandmas in there? Just you cooking. She brought us like some kind of sopapilla like things one day,
Cool.
And she brought us a
and then
baby
she brought us
gift.
a baby gift when they saw
Yeah.
that we had. So we were due, man. We've been meaning to.
Yeah.
We gave her some cookies. She said she liked them, right?
Did you appropriate? Did you give her your type cookies or her type cookies?
That'd be so funny. We just only bring her Mexican items. They were some good old American chocolate chip.
Okay. Yeah.
You're
There's
right.
no like icing that's like a look. It's Mexican
And then
flag.
With just a side of, we did include a bottle of Cholula to be respectful. Can you imagine? It'd be so offensive.
I mean, this conversation.
Don't put
is
this on the
offensive.
cookies. I know you want to. Abuela. No, they're awesome. She's so sweet. Made her cookies.
She's very
We made a
sweet.
big batch. It was a shame.
Cool.
We don't know how to batch our baking.
We're
By the way,
What's going on?
We were like making them for the neighbor, also for my like a family get together, and we honestly God made 100 cookies. We had to
we all
throw
of a
away
sudden-
like 30 of them. It was
we
so
all of a sudden
sad.
had all the dough, and we're like, we don't even have a bowl big enough for this. We had to bring out a pot that was like a big.
It was my old pot. It was that in quarantine I brewed beer in, like my quarantine activity.
It's a cauldron.
I was like, it was like mixing cement.
We all of a sudden were like, how many cookies are we making?
It's cute, man. Have you been brought baked goods or given baked goods?
I don't think so. I don't think ever in the homes I've lived in that I've been brought goods. I think there was one time on the podcast, this is probably 2 years ago or so, I talked about when I first moved into that Olathe house, I got something in the mail. There was an invite to our neighbor's like Christmas party. And so it was a cute little like flyer. It was like, when December 19th, where Jib and Pam's house. Their names were Jib and Pam. That was nice. And it was like what? And then all the details of the party were just different types of alcohol. And we were like, these people are like 55 like years old. Like I don't know what kind of party this is going to be. It was like, what? And they would say like spirits, mixed drinks, cocktails, margaritas. And it was like the whole Christmas party. It's just alcohol, I guess.
They don't teach you that at etiquette class.
Yeah, so I didn't go. But that's the one like neighborly thing I've had. No baked goods, just an alcohol
We got invited
party.
to a neighbor party. We were out of town, of course, but remember someone? They're like, "Come on over."
Oh yeah, it was a musical party.
Yeah.
They asked us.
It was a musical
they
party. What
asked
does that mean?
On the invitation, it said to bring an instrument.
Oh, it was like a weird hippie like jam fest. Yeah, we probably wouldn't have fit in. Actually.
That sounds like
there would have been a lot of weed there, probably.
oh, that sounds awful. Bring an instrument.
I have an all-time story. I ended up at a random dude's house doing a jam fest one night in college. You know those weird nights in college where you look up and you're like, tonight you couldn't make up tonight.
Yeah.
It was just like hanging out with some friends, and we went to, of course, every college night, it's like you get together at like 1 a.m. It's just insane. We went to like a friend's house at 1 and then kind of walked outside. It was a nice night. We're just like chilling outside. And then, of course, some weird guy comes up and he's like, we're jamming over if you want to come. So, of course, we're like, yeah.
Yeah, nothing else.
What will this lead to? And then we're sitting outside. And, some friends are dropping like flies because it's getting late and it's like weird. But me and my buddy are like, this is just hilarious. And then long story short, it's 5 a.m. We're back at these guys' house. And they're like, you guys playing instruments? We're about to just jam. Like, we don't really, but we just got like, there's like a
Did you play
drum.
the tambourine?
And I just was like,
I feel it.
and my buddy just like found a random, basically the equivalent of like a triangle. It was just like a single pad. He was just like hitting on beat. And we just kind of like did that for 20 minutes.
Opening and closing a textbook.
It was like hilarious. And it was like, all right, well, we're done here.
Yeah.
They started bringing out the drugs and stuff. We're like, all right, well, yeah, I'll take it. No, etiquette class.
Etiquette. That's an instrument I won't play.
Tell you what, the Lord is our shepherd. He shall not want. And they asked me to leave. Where's the butter? Jam sesh.
Little college jam sesh. Yeah, I found my way in a couple of those.
Oh.
Baptist style.
Okay.
So just a cappella.
I was gonna say you're allowed to have
Just
instruments.
The
silence.
Church of Christ style, I guess.
see,
but
I
I'm like,
see.
you better not be shrugging them shoulders.
Stay still.
What's a game where no one wins? It's
Tug of war, but you're playing against a lion.
Well, yeah, but the waiting game
Those
is
two.
also sucks.
Those two.
And when you're hiring, you don't want to wait, and that's why you need Indeed. Indeed is the hiring platform where you can attract, interview, and hire all in one place. Instead of spending hours on multiple job sites searching for candidates with the right skills, Indeed's a powerful hiring platform that can help you do it all. With Instant Match, over 80% of employers get quality candidates whose resume on Indeed matches their job description the moment they sponsor a job.
I got a little fun fact for you, Trey. Check this out. In the minute that we've been talking about Indeed, 16 hires were made on Indeed, according to Indeed data.
That's pretty good.
Not bad.
That is pretty good. I've hired people using Indeed. Very helpful tool that do better than anyone out there. So join over 3 million businesses worldwide who use Indeed. And start hiring now with a $75 sponsored job credit to upgrade your job post at Indeed.com/Trey. Offer good for a limited time. Claim your $75 credit now at Indeed.com/Trey. Just go to Indeed.com/Trey and support the show by saying you heard about it on this podcast. Indeed.com/Trey. Terms and conditions apply. Need to hire?
Yeah.
You need Indeed. Yeah. And now let's get to an interview with Tyler Hubbard, Florida Georgia Line. You guys ever heard of them?
I have. Yes, it is the area that separates the two states.
Mm-hmm. They have a bar there, actually. It's very fun.
Famous one.
There's a bar.
Yeah. Baby, you're a song. Yeah, you ever heard that? Well, they're no longer together. Number one.
There's a line.
Boy, they killed it. And Tyler Hubbard, formerly Florida Georgia Line, he's out doing a solo tour. 5'9", blonde hair, and so he's already making bangers. This guy is a prolific songwriter, even for other people.
Excuse me?
Yeah, he doesn't write for himself. He's written some of the biggest hits in Nashville in country music, and we got a chance to sit down and talk with him. How cool is that?
Very cool.
So enjoy this episode. Tyler Hubbard, fellow Southern boy, Christian boy.
Yeah.
Not as sheltered. Maybe a touch.
Where'd he grow up?
Georgia. Oh, good. I'm glad you asked. Monroe, Georgia.
Oh,
Familiar with Noonan?
I do know where that is.
So we had a great talk with him.
So he was the Georgia part of the Georgia Florida
That's
line.
true. I think that I'm putting that together now in real time. So thank you. He's married. He's got kids. He's a great guy. So enjoy this episode, this interview with Tyler Hubbard. Everything's rocking. We're good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Tyler Hubbard in the house.
What's up, dude?
My
How we
man.
doing?
It's good to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Thanks for coming on. We were just talking a little bit about being your dad as well.
I'm a dad.
How old are your kids?
3, 4, and 5.
Really?
Yeah, bro.
Are all yours?
They're all mine.
How does that?
It's
is that
crazy. It's
possible?
almost impossible. I know.
Almost. Was that planned?
No.
No.
Not even close.
How many out of the 3 were planned?
One.
Wow.
Wow.
The first one?
The first one, yeah.
Man.
That's what people are probably like, man, tour life is a grind. You're like, dude, having kids is a grind.
Yeah.
They never stop.
Try doing both. Try having 3 kids on a tour. That's crazy.
That is.
But no, it's fun, man. It keeps us,
How many boys, girls?
2 boys, and our oldest is a girl.
Okay.
So it's
goodness.
definitely, exciting around the house.
Yeah. Because we were talking, I was telling you the 7-month-old. I'm about to be gone for a week. That's the longest I've left him. So
man,
I don't know. It's like I left him for a few days. It felt like he morphed already in those few days. But because early on, when he was super young, I was like, yeah, I get to leave.
Right.
He was annoying.
Right.
And now he's fun and he sleeps well. And
right.
So it sucks to leave.
And you do leave for a week and they grow like 2 inches.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah.
How do you balance? Does the wife and kids ever come on the road with you?
They do. Not all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I got to be honest. Sometimes it's incredible to leave the house and get on the road and get a break. But yeah, I miss those kids like crazy. And I just came back from like a 2-week stint, and it was probably the longest it was like starting to get to me. I'm like, man, I really miss them. It was starting to really hit. But this weekend they're coming out. We got 3 shows on the East Coast, so all 3 kids are coming. So I was just talking to my manager. I'm like bracing myself, like we're leaving tomorrow night on the bus, and you can imagine like me and my wife and 3 kids and a nanny on a tour bus. It's pretty. The last thing on my mind is how to play a show.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's like the
right?
easy part. Yeah.
How do kids sleep on a bus? Because that's what we're
iffy.
like dreaming
it's
of.
It's iffy. Yeah, because they, you can imagine how exciting it is. They all get in their bunk, which is right beside each other.
Oh, yeah,
so
that's
then they're
like high
playing
up
with
there.
the curtain, and they're like wanting to keep each other awake, and sometimes it turns into quite a process. But we threaten.
Yeah.
And we
right.
Just threaten, manipulate, try to get.
You ever drop them off on the side of the road? My father did me a few times.
I've threatened, but my follow through was just not there that time.
Yeah, good for you, man. Y'all's dads ever do something crazy? My dad one time, he followed through. He's like, I'm going to drop you off on the side of the road. And one time he's like, get out.
Really?
And my mom had to come get me on the side.
No
of the
way.
freeway. Yeah.
That'll prove a point.
It was
like
me and
that.
my 2 friends in a car, and he just kept driving down the road with my 2 buddies.
No way.
And I was on the side of the road.
What had you done?
I was shotgun. He was driving, and some light came on. My dad's the type. Light comes on the dash. We gotta investigate this immediately. What a psycho move. You just keep driving. And he's like, well, get out the owner's manual. And I was like 12 or something. I was just like, I don't want to. He's like, get out the owner's manual. I'm like, I guess I was just being difficult. And
Right.
then he's like, get out of the car.
You're being a middle schooler, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. There it is. From the get-go.
Being the character.
My dad pulled over a time or two. I remember having friends in the truck. Dad pulls over. I actually get spanked on the side of the road. And by friends, I remember one of them was my girlfriend. And that was super embarrassing.
You got spanked in front of the girlfriend?
Straight up, bro. Going to a car show. Yeah, that was some
a dad
gangster.
right
That was.
Can we get a play-by-play of just the
that's a
whole
dad.
thing?
How old were you?
I mean, I was probably in like 7th grade, old enough to be humiliated, but not old enough to fight him off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That sweet spot where
You're
you
like-
like girls, but he can still smack you. Yeah,
For sure.
That's tough, man.
What did you do to deserve that?
Dude, I don't know. It wasn't nearly as bad as what Trey did. I'll tell you that. I honestly don't even remember.
Don't
Probably
remember.
talked back to him or disrespected him.
It
or
didn't
something,
take much, man.
Not much.
I mean, you can't stay with your 7th grade girlfriend. After
No,
she's seen you
she was
get
scared to
spanked.
death. I thought I was embarrassed. She was like, pale ghost. I was just like, yeah, that's my dad. He doesn't play around.
You don't
so
play around? You're trying to be tough?
You don't want to push.
See how,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
see how I
yeah.
took those laps?
See how quickly I bent over?
Yeah.
That was no problem.
Babe,
Didn't even
would
cry.
you get the switch for him? Dude, getting punished in front of your friends was
Never fun.
Yeah.
the word. He's like, come here, and you go into a room somewhere, and they just hear from the room, and you walk out like you're just talking.
He just wanted to talk to me.
He just wanted to talk.
Wiping tears.
Told me he loved me.
Well, that's something to look forward to on the tour bus. That's going to be great to have like some arrangement with your bus driver. Hey, if I say a code word, I need you to pull over and I might need you to help spank my kids.
Yeah.
It's all
no
part
doubt.
of it.
Every bus driver I've ever met would spank a kid.
I'll just text you if they get out of line. I need you to come back, get them out of the bed, go deal with it, and I'm going to keep sleeping. How's that sound?
Yeah. Do you have a bus driver that's like yours that you love, or you just take whoever they send you?
Man, right now, apparently in the world of bus drivers, it is extremely. There's a high demand.
Okay.
There's a really big high demand.
That's
for
good to
bus
know. I thought our
drivers.
driver was just yanking our chain. He's
No.
like, you
He's like-
guys be lucky
Is
to
he
have
asking
me.
for a
I'm like,
raise?
Yeah,
bro, I'm telling
basically.
You, hey, trust me. Right now, they are apparently few and far between. So this year I've sort of had to bounce around. I've had some good ones, but yeah, they'll be like, I'm only here for 3 weeks. I'm going, and I'm like, hey, all right, whatever. As long as I get from A to B alive, then I'm good. But yeah, apparently that's a big demand in the market right now.
Yeah.
So
Are we
if you
having the
guys
same driver this weekend?
Get the CDL.
I don't know.
We've had the same one for months. He's a character, man.
Really? All of them are.
Yeah, they all
Yes.
are, man.
They all
They're
are.
not. They're like human raccoons. They just live at night. And he
I saw
prides
one
himself.
eating out of garbage one time. I was like, okay, dude.
Wait, maybe we do need to pay him more.
He was
Yeah.
cleaning the garbage out.
Yeah.
And you guys were throwing food.
I feel like we might have been spoiled because he prides himself on the smoothest driver west of the Mississippi.
Yeah.
And
None of us ever ask, like, what kind of tactics are you doing to drive smooth? But we get preached to every
How
morning.
smooth he is.
He's
All right,
like-
so last night I did this little maneuver.
he's like a mile from the exit. I start letting off the gas.
Yeah, he did.
I'm
That
in no
guy's-
rush, man. I'm making sure you guys are sleeping soundly. So
Great.
And so that's the only one. Y'all don't have anybody to compare.
this whole tour we've had the one, but last tour we had a revolving door, and I think we've just forgotten because we had one fella who there's a shortage, so sometimes they dip into the Greyhound.
Of
drivers.
course.
And what you don't think
The
about
reserve.
that.
It's like a bus is a
The
bus,
beast
right?
train.
The bus is a bus, but that man.
No, it ain't.
Well, I mean, I woke up in the middle of the night.
Sometimes they're a Ferrari. You don't know it.
Yeah.
God.
Oh my gosh! You put your driver's license in your front pocket so they can identify you. Like this thing's.
I thought Trey was like your kids. I thought he was just playing with the curtains, but he was just trying to survive. He was just
Right,
hanging on.
just
to the
hanging on for
curtains.
dear life.
Yeah, he was crazy.
I'm gonna get my CDL license. I've decided.
Yeah, just do it, just drive it.
And seriously, 3 of our guys were gonna do it just for the. It's a good thing to have, and I used to have it, and then I moved to Tennessee, and it was no longer valid. So
Oh, you had it in a different.
I'm gonna
state?
get it. I'm gonna get it so I can just. So those drivers don't have the power over me anymore. You know what I mean?
Exactly,
Let's go.
man. You can pull over there. Like, I'm gonna pull this thing.
Right,
around.
I'll pull
Turn
this
this thing
thing
around, kid.
Better slow this thing down, or I'm gonna take the wheel.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah, you slowly just get the licensure to do everything on the tour if need be.
If need be,
You know,
that's
I can
right.
do it all.
I'm a carpenter. Yeah.
That's good, man.
Yeah. Are you? What's the tour on the East Coast? Where are we going this weekend?
We're going to Charlotte, Charleston, and Raleigh.
Whoa. Hey, so
Ooh,
we're going to Charleston this weekend.
When are you in Charleston?
Are you really?
Yeah.
What
You wanna
day?
party?
I'd love to.
We have a show there Sunday.
You come to my show, I'll come to yours.
Man, if we
That'd be so fun.
We've had so many instances where
Or we just
missed-
combine shows. Man.
That'd be sick. You
drive our bus.
You drive our bus.
Yo, where are we at? Charlotte? Is that what you said?
We're Charleston
Okay.
on Sunday.
on Sunday.
I'm on Charleston on Thursday.
Dang it.
That would have
It
been.
never happens.
Who else have we missed?
Man.
By just a hair. We've missed a few by a hair.
Just come up a few days early, guys.
You're Charleston Thursday. What Friday?
And then Charlotte, and then Raleigh.
Raleigh Saturday. We're in
Raleigh Saturday, dude.
Greenville Saturday.
I don't know how those not.
We're just
Man.
barely missing each other.
One of these days.
Well,
That'd be fun.
next year.
Were you in Vegas recently?
I was. Yeah.
Which casino?
A casino called Red Rock.
That's what I thought.
Yes, we were there too.
We were there because I
See?
thought I saw
On
you
the
on
same
some
tour.
advertisements. Red
Yep.
Rock.
Yep. Played that pool side party. That was, that was fun.
Daytime party. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
it's kind of like sunsetter kind of vibes.
casino daytime show.
Yeah,
You're
one
being
of those
kind.
deals.
I have a feeling how that was.
One of those
but-
deals. Yeah, just one
Yeah.
of those things.
But Red Rock, do you get to hang out at all? You just.
I was
get
there
to
for
get
a
out?
day, and there was so much to do at the hotel. I got a massage, went bowling, all the
Okay.
things you do at casinos.
Yeah.
We didn't go on a hike. I would have. I almost did, but I had to sound check and work a few things up. So
That's cool, man.
yeah, it was a good time. Vegas is good.
Red Rock. I played there a couple years now. I love it there. Man.
Yeah.
I like getting off the strip.
Yep,
So
I do
know you're
too,
getting
for
older,
sure.
man. Dad vibes.
It almost
Like,
doesn't feel like Vegas.
It doesn't.
Something
Yeah.
different.
It doesn't.
Yeah,
I
Red
love
Rock
it,
is
man.
great. Who are you out with this weekend? Who's part of the crew
you know
that are
what?
talent?
Old Dominion.
Oh, okay.
I
right
almost
on.
literally forgot who. I was like, no, it's the first 3 shows of the Old Dominion tour. So
Very cool.
It'll be
That's
fun.
sick.
New faces, new stage, new setup.
I wish we overlapped with that.
That would be
I
fun.
canceled my show.
Well, you guys are welcome to come any show.
Dude, we'll link. Yeah, we'll get
roll out
to
the
one of
red
these
carpet.
shows one time, man. That's what's tough. I feel like I'm like, man, it's cool. I'm getting to meet these cool people. I want to hang out with them on the shows, but then
And you're
do
working.
shows,
Yeah.
which is cool, but
That's how
I'm
it
gonna have
is.
to quit to go to my new friend's show.
Yeah,
That's what I have to do, man.
that's fun. So I think right before we started recording, someone was talking to you about your middle school character, and you're like, man, I got middle school fans too. What do you think you're like? Who are your fans now versus like back then?
Dude.
Have they shifted?
Yes, it's been crazy. Like, to be honest, my fan base now is a lot younger.
Interesting.
It's very interesting because I didn't particularly make music catered to younger people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was really just making music that was like authentic to me and telling my story. But I've really noticed like a demographic shift. You kind of have like the people that are my age and a little older. You kind of got your FGL fans, and then it seems like their kids are now Tyler fans. And it's almost like I see 3 generations in the crowd. So it's really wild. I mean, I literally see people that don't know any of the words to Cruise that are like
That's
6 years
gotta be
old,
interesting.
5, 6 years old, no word. They're looking at me like, what are you singing? And then I'll sing 5'9", and they'll know every word. And you can just tell they're just like new fans. But their parents, I'll sing Cruise and they just go crazy. And you're just like, I see, I'm connecting the dots in my minds while they're connecting the dots. And it's pretty cool, as well as makes me feel kind of old, but it is what it is.
Yeah, that's good that you can start to see new fans though, and maybe that's the TikTokification of
I think it
current
has
music.
to do with TikTok and
Yeah.
because I've tried to what is it? Why in the world are all these little kids showing up to my shows? But I do think it's like TikTok,
It's a good question to ask.
and hopefully my music is cool enough for the parents to be playing it in the car, you know what I'm saying? But clean enough that kids can jam. So like, I don't know what it is, but it's cool because in my opinion, if you got the kids, then you're doing. You're doing something right, and hopefully they stick around for a while. So
That's true.
Yeah, if you just had those like original fans, and as you're doing shows now, those fans are just the same people getting older and older. You're like, once they die out,
old people
Right,
suck.
right.
and they're not as loud, so it's
Yeah,
not
it's
as fun.
just kids
They
are
can't
more
post
fun.
about you on Instagram.
they're way
No.
crankier. No, that's
I don't even
true.
know. Yeah, half of them can't even,
They don't even know
pull up the
the
ticket on their phone
socials.
to get in. It's annoying.
It's a
yeah.
mess. It's fun though.
That's awesome, man. It's great to have you on the pod. It's good to be here. You're are you guys having more kids?
No, done.
You're done.
Straight up.
Like scientifically done? Yeah.
Scientifically.
Is that worth it?
Dude, you want to get into it? It's
Yeah.
yes.
I've heard it's tough.
No, somebody lied. to you.
Really?
Or maybe they had a bad experience. I don't want to put words in their mouth, but just to give you like the 2-minute rundown, like the day that we had our 3rd child, like I had already scheduled my appointment.
Yeah, you're like,
to
what?
get-
I'm not figuring something
I'm
out
like,
here.
look, I don't even think we had sex and we just had a 3rd baby. It's like something.
Like, is
I've
it
been
in
on
the air?
road
Like
whole
we're
time.
like,
It's like COVID, man.
something's happening. So I went and got snipped like 2 weeks after Atlas was born. And in my head, I had it kind of worked up that it was going to be a big deal. But at that point, I was just like, I got to do something. So I was just done. And went in there, dude, and it was like, I went to the consultation. That was whatever. Then I went to get the procedure done. It was like 4 minutes. And it was super simple. And it was no big deal. And the guy was like, all right, you're done. And I'm like, I started kind of laughing. I'm like, I'm done. And he's like, you're good to go. Just, chill out for a couple days, ice them, and then come back in like 3 weeks and we'll make sure you're all clear.
Yeah.
And then you're good to go. And bro, I'm talking about freedom. You know what I mean?
Wow.
It's
I
nice.
heard it didn't hurt or anything.
No, bro. It did not hurt. They give you a little shot to numb it at the beginning. That's like the worst part, but it's honestly even that's like very minimal.
I think we're gonna see Tyler a year from now and be like, dude, did you ever get your CDL license? He's like, no, but I can give I can give the snip.
I can
snap
snip now.
Yeah,
Pretty crazy.
I got that.
All my friends wanted to get snips, but I just decided why not.
I got young fans now. They'll
We
need the
digress.
procedure eventually. That's fine. And where do they put them?
They give them to you in like a jar. You take them home and you can give them,
That's
as a
amazing,
gift,
man.
whatever.
Yeah,
that's
I
what
want
I
to get in
always
good. I want to book, that procedure, and then make sure I have a taxidermist who I really trust too, and like let you guys kind of work together.
Yeah, like you're a dog.
It's not like castrating a cow or anything, but similar. It's close.
Yeah. That is
Oh
fun.
my gosh.
Like,
that's
it
funny.
seems easy. Why can't they do that to a dog? Where do they put all those? From the dogs.
That's a good question.
Great question. Never thought
I'd
about
ask
that.
Tyler a
Some
year
tough
from
questions.
now. He'll have gone through the
Did
school.
some
He'll
research.
know.
Asking
That's
the
great.
tough
Well, congrats on
questions.
that. Did any like I don't know song inspiration come from the procedure? Any kind of freedom? People think it's about America, but we know what it's
we
about.
know what it's about. Yeah. Man, good question. Caught me off guard with that. I wish I had a
I'm just trying to ask questions that most other podcast hosts are not asking
5'9".
you.
No, I'm just kidding. I don't.
Yeah.
When 5'9" came out, I was excited. I thought it was about short kings. I'm 5'9". I was like, yes, finally.
Short
Then he's like, what is
kings.
this
My
sundress
man.
thing he's
This
talking
sundress.
about?
Yeah, wait. She's 5'9".
Wait, dang it.
Dang it.
Well, I don't want to wear the sundress.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess this is not about me.
How tall's your wife?
She's actually 5'10".
Ooh, but
So that was a little discrepancy.
Yeah, but you had to, you got to rhyme it.
Yeah, I mean, once you
Priorities.
write it, you don't have time to
Priorities.
fact check.
You get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. How tall is yours? She's 5'9".
Yeah.
Is she?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
I just got to
Seen that
reshape
to
it.
her?
It's about her.
It's about.
It's not
her.
me in a sundress.
He wrote that for you. Man. No.
Yeah, we're like the. How tall are you?
I'm 6'2".
Okay, you're a little bit taller. I was gonna say, me and my wife are like the same height, which is a little emasculating. Mm-hmm. But now I'm starting to be more like it is masculating.
Own
I'm like
it.
we get to share sweatshirts. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Why not?
I feel like we're equal now. Hey, can you get this for me? You
Right.
get it.
Right.
You're
I'm
the
not
same height
taller.
as me.
Yeah, my wife's 5'10".
Yeah, it's nice.
That's nice.
There you
Look
go.
at us, man. We're getting height in the family.
Yeah.
I like it. She can reach stuff. Can you imagine being married to a woman
Tetherball.
who's always like, "Could you get this?"
Wouldn't be worth it.
It wouldn't,
It's a
man.
non-negotiable.
Dude, I have every night I have to get my wife's pillows down from the top of the closet. It's
Yeah,
not. I don't want to say it's annoying. I mean, it's not that big a deal, but it
Every
kind of is.
night,
Every
just
night,
put 'em somewhere
right
else.
before I go to bed. Hey, did you get the pillows? I'm like, oh.
Why are the pillows not on the bed?
Yeah, this is a good question.
Well, these because these are like the sleeping pillows.
Yeah, okay.
You know the difference.
Yeah.
And they're like, and she has like 17 of them. So like literally we use our whole top shelf of our linen closet is full of these tiny little pillows. They're not full size either. They're like these guys. And they have these soft little pillowcases on it, and she has like 17 of them. So every day, every morning,
morning
it's a
you put the pillows
situation
up.
and then every night they come down.
Based
It's
on
like
the occasion, there's certain pillows.
So anyways.
Shag pillows.
just to prove your point, it can be difficult being
is she-
6'2", man.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not all easy.
Count your
man.
blessings, bro.
You got the how many pillows when she's making the bed? How many pillows are on the bed? Is she reasonable?
You got
or-
2 normal ones, 2, and then the other 2, and then 3. So 7.
7. That's acceptable. I
That's
guess. You guys
acceptable
working
for a-
with?
I like a good odd number amount of pillows. You
Gotta be
know,
odd.
I think you kind of make a little V with them. Now that I've been married 3 months,
Oh,
so
okay.
I went about 12 years without making the bed. I'm 3 months back into making my bed
Okay.
again. So I'm in the thick of it.
Okay.
Wow. You're making the bed every day?
Sometimes.
Wow, without the help of your wife?
Yeah, I mean,
thought it should be like a
it's-
team thing,
It's
right?
not
It should be like
good.
a-
it's
it's not.
like, yeah, that's good enough. Sure. Kind of throw the blankets on and
Okay.
the pillows. You stack them.
I set a
have any,
boundary around that, bro. I set a boundary.
You've been married a while.
8 years, yeah.
I'd say that qualifies as advice given. What do you got for 3 months? this
Set a
guy?
boundary, bro. No bed making without you.
Yeah.
This is a team effort here. We're a
Right.
group. We're a partnership. We're equal.
Mm-hmm.
You want me
You
to make the
put
bed?
pillows up, I get them down.
Right.
That's a
I
team
guess I
effort.
should practice what I preach. I should. Hey, honey.
Yeah.
Either
you're
up
fine.
or down, your choice.
Yeah.
You know.
Just the lower shelf for the pillows.
Yeah, when you think back to that first year of marriage, what were you guys up to, both
Not making the
maritally
bed.
and also career-wise?
Career-wise, dude, actually, it's a funny thing about, because when we first started hanging out, we were still on one bus with like 12
Like the whole
dudes.
crew.
The whole bus
Yeah.
was full. And also at the time, BK had just met his wife, and I had just started dating Haley. And so we were just head over heels in love, you know, and we wanted to be together all the time. So she would just come out on the road with me most of the time, and we would share a bunk, like every night. Share a bunk.
The coffin.
And you know what I'm talking about when I say a bunk. Yeah, I mean, like,
Trey
you
tried that
live in a
briefly.
bunk. Yeah, it's not easy. I mean, you got to not care about getting sleep. You got to be cool with getting sweaty and just not being able to. It's just not ideal, but you get to know each other really quickly. And that was what we did for a while.
Wow.
And she kind of roughed. I mean, I say roughed it because most people would call that roughing it, but we roughed it way more than that before. So the fact that we were even on a tour bus at that time, I was like, look at us, baby, we balling, you know. But she pretty quickly kind of got over that until we got our own bus. And
Was
then-
it
and
all
she's-
dudes in her?
It was.
Yeah, man. Wow.
She was a
Sounds
trooper.
Our first tour last year, it was probably 8 or 9 dudes, and my wife Katie, who got to be there every day, and we would get in that tiny bunk. But I'm kind of claustrophobic.
It's good training.
Yeah, it
I mean,
is.
for what I'm not really sure, but
Right.
it feels like it's good training.
For what? And we, you have to be right on top of each other. And
Right.
every night I'd wake up like,
Oh yeah.
and she'd be like, it's okay, you're okay, and I was like, thank you so much. So it was tough when she wasn't there, and I would freak out,
Yeah, bro.
thinking I was locked in a coffin without her.
That's funny.
Now I just sleep in the same bunk as Trey because he
Yeah.
misses Katie.
He's the opener / big spoon.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Got to keep that spot warm, you know.
Yeah, man, you got to. It's well, that's interesting. Yeah, because she came on every single city on the first tour. Now, she's just being mom. Like, how
Right.
y'all got married? How long between married and the first kid?
That was like
I'm gonna say 3 years doing the math.
3 years.
Nice.
Provided.
That was
Yeah,
quick,
yeah.
bro. I'm like 3 or 4 years.
So okay,
I'm
you had
slower at math, but
maybe
yeah.
the bunk was the key. To
3
keep
years.
the kids away. It's like,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
got
it
too
was a
big of
busy
bed.
season too. Like that was when we were in the the thick of it, and actually that's kind of where I'm at again right now, which is kind of fun. But yeah, it was grind season for sure, and so I was never home, which is why she would come out and hang. But yeah, it we got to know each other quickly for sure.
Yeah. You gonna get your own bus? Get Rachel out there?
Yeah, people I feel like love to ask, like, our tour managers, like, when's Rachel gonna come out here? And it's like, I think she's doing just fine at home, not sleeping in a
desire.
little bed with a bunch of dudes.
dudes.
Because our current tour, it's usually 3 or 4 nights at a time. So I don't think
Right.
Rachel's dying to, like, I can't go a night without you. I want to eat nachos for dinner and sleep with a bunch of guys around. I think she's like,
so many Uncrustables.
yeah, I think she's like, I'm fine for a
That's
weekend.
funny. Yep.
So it works out.
Once we were married, there was no more. Yeah, she's like, I'm gonna stay home.
Yeah,
we'll
we're
see
locked
you on
in.
Sunday.
Yeah,
I don't need to
how it
impress you
works.
or prove myself anymore.
Yeah, that sounds
I'm
about
cool.
right.
Especially, it's like I
We're
bought a
married.
house. Go live in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
good.
paying for
Exactly.
Yeah, time for me to go.
And I want my bunk to myself, so thanks.
I'm starting to. She was so supportive. Katie was just dedicated. Now we have the kid, and she was gonna be here this week, and I think she's finally starting to hit over. She's like, I'm not carting this baby around on
Right.
a plane anymore. So
Yeah.
you do your thing.
It's a lot, man. It's a lot.
Carting's a great
Cart it
verb
around.
for just a cheese cart.
Very much
with
is.
Thomas on top of it. All right, Tyler, I have a question. I love asking other people who perform. Out of all the gigs you ever done, what is just like by far the worst gig? Or maybe if you don't want to out them totally, the worst type of gig, like, I will never say yes to this again.
Or weirdest.
Man,
you
good
ever like had to perform for like a billionaire and like his wife or something? Like, so something weird happened.
There's a restaurant in Destin, Florida called Harbor Docks, and the only reason I remember it is because we joked about it for years afterwards. But we played. It's like a restaurant, and it has like a stage in the corner. And for some reason, we played a show there back in the day, and it was
Florida Georgia
as
Line.
FGL, and again, we were still in like van and trailer, and doing the thing, and set up, started playing a show, and we were making people angry. They were not having it. They were like, what are these guys doing? They were like yelling, turn it down. And we're like, we can't. Like the amps, like there was no PA. This is just, just like little beach bar. And the amps were all the way down already. There was no turning anything down, like at all. They're like yelling at us. We're trying to eat.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay,
gonna do this? How long are they gonna do this?
Yeah, that's literally what it was like. So it became comical, and it was definitely humbling. And I don't know why that's the first show that came to mind. But
that's great. I mean, even just the name Harbor Dogs.
Harbor Dogs, baby.
Harbor Dogs or docks?
Docks.
Oh, I thought it was Harbor Dogs.
Harbor Dogs,
right on the water. Yeah,
right on the water.
Circa 2000.
Context clues. I didn't do math. You need to use context clues. Bunch of dogs were there. Florida just kind of doesn't care in general. I didn't care. One of my great memories was we played at what I would call a restaurant with a stage, where it's like, are they paying attention? This feels like they're eating a lot of shrimp, and I'm supposed to do jokes.
It's like
here?
we're playing the wrong songs or telling the wrong jokes here.
Yeah,
dinner is supposed to be dinner music, or
were they prepared for this?
Right.
Yeah.
Feels like we sprung a comedy show on them, and they're eating supper.
Yeah,
but that was the one
more manageable. I mean, I think who wouldn't like that?
Yeah, that's what you think,
right?
I don't know.
Who wouldn't like a 4 or 5 electric guitar screaming at you?
Yeah, right. I don't know. That was the one. Yeah, we're just like we like to show a video, and they're just like we can't do that unless it's a DVD. This was like 4 years ago. You're like DVD.
That's the only way.
Speaking of things, I also think one of the things I've said that it's on like the never do list, the never do bucket list, is the national anthem.
Oh,
yeah.
And I know
that's you've never done one.
I've never done it. And
you've been asked a lot, I'm sure.
I've been asked a couple times, and then I've been asked to sing the Star Spangled Banner, which sort of is in the same category.
I would say very similar.
As far as like everything to lose.
Is it the same? That's I thought I was about to be done. Is it the same song?
Yes.
Well, maybe I'm thinking of another one. There's two different ones.
What's the other one?
Star Spangled Banner.
I only know the one national anthem.
No. The black one. They asked him to sing the black one.
No.
Are you saying like
America,
God bless the America the
beautiful. Is that the song?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's that one called?
Maybe that's
America
the one I got asked.
America Beautiful. Okay.
Well, maybe I did just.
Now it sounds like you're just.
Maybe I was ultimately confused, and I'm like, I'm not singing either one of those songs. And they're like,
like,
bro, it's just one
The
song.
reason I won't sing the anthem is because I can't figure out what it is.
I'll tell you this: I won't do the national anthem, but I'll do the Star Spangled Banner. How about that?
Exactly.
And
less to lose. No, so that's been my MO, dude. I'm like, man, if you sing the national anthem, like, you got everything to lose, and you got a little bit to gain.
High
if
risk,
you're Chris
low
Stapleton.
reward.
You know what I'm saying? If you're Chris Stapleton, you have a little bit to gain. Still, he didn't make a career. I mean, still, he was already Chris Stapleton before.
Yeah, people were just like, oh yeah.
But if he would have messed up,
right? Yeah, Chris Stapleton, like that was a reminder that he's very talented.
Been
but
on flubs.
it didn't.
It was still that was when I watched Chris do it. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
I mean, he just rocked. And not very often do you watch some. At least in my opinion, do you see somebody sing the national anthem and you're just like blown away by it? You know, so it's just kind of like
normally it's a really big game. You're like, all right, come on,
I'm
I'm ready for kickoff.
Here.
And he came to mind because it was recent. But when you try to think of like what are the great anthems,
you can only think of the people who did it.
What are the bad ones?
Yeah, Fergie.
Oh, Fergie.
They're gonna pop right up.
They're gonna pop
YouTube,
right up.
Bam.
Fergie was Mariah Carey. She wasn't singing the anthem. She was singing some other song about. Remember that girl in the hockey rink who slipped like 6 times? Someone said you could.
There's some brutal ones out there.
Anthem on a hockey rink is really tough ask.
Doing anything other than skating on a hockey rink is a tough ask. I would just sing it from the press box.
Yeah.
But that's a good call.
So
don't sing any of those.
I don't know. I'd have to be offered a lot of money for that one.
Yeah.
Do they pay people?
I don't
for
think
that?
they even pay people for
Right.
it. They just say exposure.
Exposure.
Like, well,
like what? Yeah. Who's ever? No one's gotten a fan from that. Maybe Stapleton did, but you're not like, wow.
Stapleton
the way
did,
they hit.
but he's
that,
the exception to the rule.
He's the exception, man.
Yeah. I feel like more and more we're going to see. Like Taylor Swift apparently turned down the Super Bowl because they don't pay you for that either. It's just like exposure. And, she's like, I'm going to bring you more business. I bet we see more and more artists do things like that too, where it's like, you're going to start paying these people or you're starting to get less talent at the Super Bowl, I bet.
Know what's sad about the Super Bowl? They're starting to book the people where you're like, man, isn't that guy past their prime? It's like, no, it's because they serve the 40-plus people.
It's starting to be our people.
It's starting to be our people. That was the first, like it was a year or two ago, Dr. Dre and stuff.
All the
and you're
hip-hop
like,
guys, these
are the oldies. And you're like, this is mine.
Yeah.
I'm the old now. But Usher, and they're nailing it. Because if you ever asked me growing up, what is little Trey, who's his favorite? It was Usher.
Yeah.
And I'm fired up.
Yeah.
Usher's
still rocking, bro. Hadn't aged a day.
No.
Since you were 7.
Looks good. I bet he could still move
still
just
skate.
fine. Good catalog.
He's short king.
Is he? He's 5'9" in a sundress. Probably.
Definitely.
Dude, that's gonna be sweet. Oh sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
I feel like our one of our worst gigs that you probably have a ton of fun at, but we did a county fair one time.
Okay.
Not the format for jokes.
County fair, because they're they usually
You're
get,
kinda making
get
fun
folks
of 'em.
like y'all, and they're like
They're like,
we want to try comedy, and I'm doing jokes on a stage in the center of like a horse track, and it's like me, 50 yards of dirt, and then them, and I'm just like, hello.
They're so far away that there's a delay from the laugh. It's like you take the joke and then it's like,
Yeah.
Like, oh, okay, this is weird.
They
It's
had
like
to
I'm
do it.
live streaming it.
They're like tying hogs. So
We played so many of those this year.
Yeah, fairs.
Straight fairs, bro.
I bet they're fun. Do you
They
like
are
fairs?
fun. They are fun. They can be hit or miss, but some of them are great, man. Some of them are really cool, but they're definitely a unique experience. We call them the Dust Bowls. Like you said, middle of a horse track. Sometimes they let the fans in, sometimes they don't. It's just kind of like,
Right.
okay, we're gonna rock this thing, I guess.
Did Stark County was where I was. I don't know
Yeah,
if you've
Canton, Ohio.
Oh,
to brag.
okay.
Canton, Ohio.
Hate to brag.
Hate to brag.
You ever done a live stream gig? Like
Only
a
during
virtual?
COVID. Only during COVID.
Yeah, I did a couple of those.
I thought we were gonna, introduce a whole new format to live entertainment, and we thought we were gonna be I remember BK and I were like, bro, we need to start recording our shows. We won't even have to travel. No overhead, no
Capitalize on
buses.
this. Yeah.
They can listen to us in Europe. How do we make the experience?
NFTs, man.
And how do we make it like
Ethereum.
How do we add like elements of? How do we make them feel the music? We're like going deep.
Yeah.
But we did it like one time. We're like, yeah, now everybody else is doing this. Okay, this is kind of old. I'm ready.
It
to
was.
get back
I
to
think everyone, the performers and the people who watched, very quickly were like, "Man, this is
ain't
not
working."
the future." This. You do a comedy show. Some huge corporation hired me to like pop in on their company-wide Zoom to entertain them, and that's a whole. When you're like just sitting in your basement, I was like,
entertain
who
the
else?
computer.
Stanley Cups out there, and I just see the like president of the company is like the only face I see on Zoom, and I just see him just kind of like. I would just give it like he's not enjoying this at all. It's just you just get nothing. What we did one time, and the chat popped up, and it's like, is this all they're doing?
Yeah.
And you just read the chat live where they're like basically making fun of you, and you
There's
can't
some
interact.
brutal- man. Nothing worse than that. It's pretty humbling, huh? You're just like, I've had some moments where on stage where I'm just like, wow, can this hurry up and be done? Mm-hmm. Kind of ready to.
COVID years, man. No virtual. Any kind of performance like that was worth it.
Yeah.
Nope.
Absolutely not. Would have never done it again. We did it. Yeah, did y'all do like a ticketed event thing, like play a full set?
And then one of them we did like a drive-in thing. So we like performed,
The
and
drive-in.
they like streamed it on drive-in theater screens, and people could come. So that was kind of cool, but you still was the same thing. Like we're playing to nobody, and trying to imagine like a bunch of people in their cars like having a great time in some field. But it was unique for sure. But that was the one that I remember.
Yeah, that's good. All right, I have another question. I've always wanted to ask someone who's like had this much success in music. So like in comedy, I feel like we see it as like basically, so at comedy, you write all these jokes, you build a set, you go perform it, you film the special, post it. Now we can't ever do those jokes again because it loses its luster. You go perform, people are like, I've already seen that. On the other end of the spectrum,
It's the other side. It's the complete opposite.
if you want to, you could perform Cruise the rest of your life.
Yeah.
What is it like from
I
that
always have
end?
to.
Yeah, because for us, it's like, man, this is tough. We got to redo
Right.
stuff every year. But at the same time, I'm sure you get sick of
not
doing the
thought
same
about
songs.
that.
Yeah, that's a
That's
great
amazing.
question. We want the people want to know, does someone who has like an all-time popular classic song, I saw Kenny Chesney in concert. He's doing the same stuff. Like you said, you could keep playing Cruise your whole life.
Right.
Are you like, gosh, if I have to play this song one more time, I'm going to lose it? Or you're like,
Hey,
I
it's
love
paying
this
the
song.
bills.
Yeah.
Is it just depend on the
There
day?
were some songs that we sang every night with FGL that I would always joke about and being like, man, I'd be cool if we never had to sing this one again, you know? But Cruise isn't one of those, thank God, because I'm still singing that one, and yeah, just now it's got so much nostalgia behind it too, and it's sort of just like serves a whole different purpose, and the fans love it. Unlike, I guess it's really true. Like kind of unlike jokes, there's no, I mean,
They
just
hear
want to
it.
know the words, right? They want to sing it with you. So the more they know it, the better. The more they've heard it, the better. Fans don't get tired of the songs, but yeah, they don't want to know the words of the jokes.
Exactly.
Right.
So it's like they can't joke along with you. You know, like they can sing along.
5, 6, 7. Yeah. And then I told him.
Anybody got a Stanley?
Yeah.
So no, it's that's a unique thing. I mean, that keeps you on your toes, man. You got to stay fresh. You're always writing, and at the same time, I mean, although I made the set list may be, this set list may evolve less than maybe a comedian's, but I'm personally always like writing for the next album, so it's almost like two different sides of the brain, like
Right.
the live thing, and then the preparation for this next studio album or But I'm also always writing songs in general, so it probably much like you guys, I kind of have to just keep that muscle sharp a little bit, and,
Totally.
and make sure. Plus, I love writing. It's probably like one of my favorite parts of the process. So it helps. But yeah, then also on the other end of the spectrum, a lot of times you got all these new songs you think you want to play, but the fans don't know one word and they don't really care to hear it. They want to hear the hits, a lot of times. So it is what it is.
Yeah. Speaking of writing, because you've obviously written all-time songs for yourself, you've written a lot of great songs for others too. Like what is your, because as I'm always trying to write and want to do stuff, and I struggle with how do I do this? What's my process? Do you have a total game plan process? How busy you are? Is it always just?
I try to get in the room with guys that are like-minded, or guys or girls, and that I've written with before, or that I trust are going to bring. If it is somebody new, it's somebody that I trust is bringing into the room. But I would just say it's very efficient now because there's not a whole lot of time for BS. Yeah. There's just not. I mean, we got 4 or 5 hours tops. We're gonna write a song and have a demo done. So let's not put pressure on ourselves, but let's not, sit around and kill time. So, but ultimately, you kind of got to let the room. Sometimes the room takes a song where it's supposed to go, and I'll try to come into a session with an idea or two, in case nobody has anything, and we can at least we're not sniffing tails for too long or throwing around ideas. Because you can, if you get too far into that, an hour and a half goes by and you're not on an idea yet, you kind of start to be like, all right, guys, we got to
do something.
Either let's quit now or let's get on to something good.
Have a sex me appointment.
But yeah, I mean, that's fortunately in this town, man, is be like co-writing all the jokes. I mean, I get to write with incredible writers who are like-minded and want to work hard and want to get the job done. And usually guys that are coming in with ideas as well, and melodies, or track guys coming in with tracks, and so it makes it fun. Everybody's bringing their A game, and usually at the end of the day, it's pretty special. You come out with something great.
Have you ever, we talk about this a lot, where my middle schooler thing is people love that character, and that was one that I was just bored, like throwing out ideas, and it was like, wow, I guess this resonates with people. Like, is there one of your big songs where you were kind of the whole time like, I don't know about this, and you're like, oh, I was wrong. People love this song.
Yeah, actually, I'd say "Meant to Be" was that song. To be honest, I'm kind of like, this is just like a simple, chill song. Like, nothing great about this song.
Interesting. Yeah,
BB's gonna put it out on her EP that sounds like a hip hop album. This is gonna be a sore thumb on her EP, but whatever, it's cool. And then it was like one of the biggest songs in history. So I'm just like, I mean, it couldn't be more simple. So a lot of times I'm just like, man, reminded not to overthink it, not to try to tee it up perfectly. Sometimes you just got to let the universe do what it does, I guess.
Cool.
That's wild.
Fascinating.
When it comes to writing songs, how do you decide? Because you obviously write a lot of your own songs, you perform your own songs, but you write for other people a lot too. How do you decide, like, I'm going to give this one up, I'm going to let somebody else use this song?
I think I'd almost rather get an outside cut than record it myself. So it makes it easier because I definitely never feel stingy with songs. I also write probably on average like 100 songs a year.
Wow.
So, and I probably on average record like 15 songs a year. So there's a lot of extra songs, and they're not all great songs, but there's a lot of good songs in there. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times I enjoy the process of writing. I also enjoy the process of pitching songs, and sometimes I'll even know like this song ain't gonna be for me, but this is a cool song.
You have somebody.
Let's
in mind,
finish
maybe.
it, and then I'll already in my mind, I'm like, I can't wait to give this to so and so, or I can't wait to pitch this to so and so. And there's also that rush, like,
Are
of
they
like,
gonna like
how am
it?
I going to pitch it? Are they going to like it?
Yeah.
You know, are they going to record it? And if they do record it, are they going to put it out? And then if they put it out, are they going to make it a single? So
Yeah.
like, there's all these stages of just like
That's fun.
little wins, you know. So yeah, it keeps it fun and keeps me on my toes. And a lot of times when I'm writing, you know, I'll be trying to write for me, especially the last couple of years, obviously. But again, we'll write so many songs that I can't put them all out. So
Yeah, I was looking at your like songwriting history, and the one specifically I feel like I have to ask about. You were a part of a Mason Ramsey single.
Oh yeah.
What was it like? I mean, how
another song? I'm like, no, not that one.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad it wasn't that
won't
one.
go there. It was a Kid Rock song. No big deal. No. Anyways.
No.
Mason Ramsey. Yeah.
Mason Ramsey. What was the process like? Like, did you just pitch that to anyone and his people picked it up, or what?
How'd that one work? I wrote that with Corey Crider, and at the time, Mason was with Big Loud. Okay. I was with Big Loud, or either just out of Big Loud, but regardless, like had those relationships. And Mason was looking to cut, and he, you know, at the time he was like 13 or something. So there was a very, It's
like, what can this guy sing?
There was a very narrow lane. Exactly. I mean, most of the songs I wrote like were already out of the question.
They were about being
this
older
was
than
more.
13.
Yeah, this was one that was like, oh, this could work, and so we. I really don't remember the process of how he heard it, how it got pitched to him, or what, but he ended up recording it, and me and Crider were jacked. We thought it'd be a massive hit. At the time, it was like right after he was like blew up for like yodeling or something, and so I was like,
heard
this.
It before. How did it do? Streaming.
I don't think it.
Nothing crazy.
I don't think it did anything crazy. I think it was sort of like okay, but it wasn't what we thought it was just gonna be.
It's time. Mason's time.
Yeah,
he's coming. He's coming back.
Is he?
He had
Is he making a
he had to
comeback?
get through puberty and high school. It sounds like, but he's back active on the socials.
There was that. I mean, I'd hang out with him and be like, I mean, this kid's cool, but he's got a long way to go. Like, he's got a lot of maturing to do. So I don't know how this music thing's gonna work out. Hopefully, he's got some people around him to love on him. You know,
Grandma and
he's a
Grandpa.
good kid.
Grandpa
But
and grandpa.
Meemaw.
I mean, he's from the middle of nowhere. He's yodels in a Walmart. Now he's.
I feel like last I heard from him, he was just slaving away at a Subway.
I did see he was working at Subway.
Yeah,
working at Subway.
So,
which I thought maybe that you
I guess
convinced him to do.
Good for
song
him.
wasn't that big of a hit,
Hey, bro,
so.
you ever thought about making sandwiches?
Hey, you need to learn hard work.
Yeah,
all right?
baby.
You ever thought of being an artist?
We're not gonna hand this to
Sandwich
you.
artist?
Sandwich artist. Yeah. Okay, why don't you yodel while you add
12-inch
mayonnaise?
meatball, white bread.
Get a little humble here. Some of us, we didn't make it when we were 13. What age were you when you were like, wow, I'm doing
made
it. I've made it. Or just, you're like, I'm doing this for a living. And I'm not
when
living
I
in
was
a cult.
honestly, and that's when I thought I made it. I got a publishing deal in 2012, and I was making $1,500 a month, and I thought I'd made it because they said, "What do you need to pay your bills?" And that's the number at the time, and that's what I got every month, and I could write songs and not have to wash cars, and I was.
You made it.
That's when I thought I made it, or that's when I did make it. Honestly,
yeah.
like
I think that's
professional
making it.
songwriting.
I mean,
So
that's,
yeah, that was in 2012.
12.
That's right. Yeah.
that's a massive break. I'm sure because especially in Nashville, I feel like everyone is trying to get just some income, just to be able to
Right.
quit their main job. So.
That's like the transition that I think people underestimate, because it's one thing when you're already like able to pursue something full time and then become successful doing what you focus every hour of your day trying to get good at. But it's when you have to like make ends meet and then try to work on a craft that you want to do for a living that makes it, you know, you gotta, that's the hard years. So yeah, for me, I mean, I graduated college in 2009. And so there was that kind of 3 years of like, okay, like washing cars, cutting grass, and then writing songs, and you know. So yeah, when that deal came in, when we were able to sign a pub deal, I just thought, oh, this is amazing.
There we go. When I was figuring stuff out, my parents were supportive, but like they were confused. They're kind of like, I mean, what, you know, we
Yours
would
is more
trust you, but
confusing.
what's going on here? Like, what was those years grinding out? Like, did you have support, or were they kind of like, Tyler?
I did have support, but it was kind of like they said the right thing. I believe in you, do what you want to do. But then my mom would be like, "But do you have a plan B?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
The plan.
And anytime they ask,
plan
"Do you have a
B.
plan B?" You're like, "So what's wrong with plan A?" But I remember she was sort of the same way. I mean, I moved away when I was 18. I was really independent, to be honest. I lost my dad when I was 20. My mom was going through all that, and so, you know, I guess you could say my career wasn't at the forefront of her mind, but there was that time I remember very vividly, like her asking me that question and me just telling her like, no, there's not a plan B, Mom. Like, this is what I'm going to do. Like, I may not ever do it this is what I want to do. Like, I don't know how big it's going to get or if I'm ever even going to be able to do it professionally, but this is what I'm chasing. And so I think, she was like, cool, I support you, and I hope you, and by support you, I mean not financially. Yeah. I just mean like by saying I'll support you.
Right. Stop asking about plan
stop
B.
asking about plan B, right.
That's
I
the
get it.
support.
Okay, cool. Well, good luck, son. And
is there a moment you could think of, like the first big show, whether it was a big theater or whatever size venue, but like where your mom got to come and like really see it and like grasp?
Yeah, what's interesting is there was this like, well, just to give you a little context, she got really quickly remarried after my dad. Actually, not quickly. It was 4 years later after my dad passed, but she met a guy and married him quickly, like 4 months.
I see.
Well, come to find out, he was not a good guy. He was extremely controlling and blah, 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 all these terrible qualities, but he wrapped it up with Christianity. Oh. So he used Christianity as a manipulation tool to my mom, and which worked well for her, but but there was a lot of taboo around what I did, a lot of sin, and I'm bringing, and literally this guy was extreme, right? So he was telling my mom like, what your son's doing is Satan's work.
He's got tattoos,
bro. I mean, it was Satan's work I was doing. I was bringing people to hell, is what he was telling my mom. So there was long hair. There was a tough like period of time there where my mom was torn. You know what I'm saying? Where she wasn't even allowed to come to award shows. As weird as that sounds, like just stuff like that was kind of brutal. Where I'm like, yo, like this is not cool. But I still felt supported and loved. I knew the situation she was in, so it wasn't anything that I was like holding against her.
You did, yeah. It wasn't like you didn't understand.
But I was kind of like, this is so unfortunate because I'm like living the dream, and you're not really able to even get to see any of it. But then to answer your question, that marriage lasted like 4 years, and then she finally left. And then at that point, I think it took her a little bit of time to like get acclimated to life.
Right.
But once she did, got like re-grounded and centered, and probably re-found her faith in a, more biblical way. And then at that point, not everything my son's doing is bad, and he's actually doing some cool stuff, and wow, and slowly but surely, like, she started coming around, and then we had some cool talks, and there was a moment where, after she was not with him anymore, she came to some bigger shows, because at that point, I mean, we were already pretty blown up, and it was just like, I think for her, she was like super overwhelmed and kind of didn't know what to think of it all, but like really proud. So yeah, it was a cool full circle moment, and now she's really pretty, she doesn't come to a lot of shows, but she comes to a couple shows a year, and
Harbor Docs,
super supportive. Harbor Docs, she'll hit up, have dinner, and tell me to get off stage.
Yeah.
But
wow.
no, she's
that's cool, man. That's cool. And you're from Georgia, right? Is she still in Georgia?
She's not. She lives in Alabama now.
Okay, Alabama. She's down,
which is where she grew up. But
is that where she met? What's his name?
Yeah,
they
can
get intense.
They went to
down
high
there,
school together. So what'd you say?
They can get intense down there.
Yeah, they can.
Damn it, man. My wife's from Georgia.
Okay.
Were you raised in Georgia?
Raised in Georgia.
Go Dogs.
Yeah, 30 minutes from Athens, where I grew up. But I'm not like die hard. But I like to watch
That's
them win.
good. The Georgia fans seem pretty. They seem like a little much.
Yeah, most football fans are.
Yeah. Are you like football, but you're reasonable? You're like,
exactly. Yeah.
I grew up insane sports kid, like huge from Oklahoma, Oklahoma State, and then I'm proud to say I was like, I watched my team get their butt whooped over the weekend, and it really didn't affect me at all.
Good. Right.
Yeah, that's good. That's good, right? There's some people who like go like burn down someone's house or something.
Oh yeah.
This 19-year-old,
they failed me.
Failed me.
Run the ball. Yeah, I know.
But no, my wife's from Noonan.
Oh yeah.
So,
yeah.
So awful town. Remember one time we went there and my mom was like, "Did you see her hometown? What was it all about?" Like, there's a Schlotzky's.
Okay. Mason Ramsey was working there.
They used to have a dirt bike track. Yeah, Mason.
Ran into Mason. Yeah. Walmart. You ever spent time in
Georgia?
Yeah.
I used to race dirt bikes there when I was a kid.
Wow.
On the weekend, there was like a track there.
Who knows?
That's it.
Small world.
Noonan.
That's cool. Do you have a favorite venue you ever played?
There's a venue in New Hampshire, Guilford, New Hampshire called.
Oh, wow.
Actually, I don't know what it's called, but it's the amphitheater in Guilford, and it's amazing. It's just like I would say that's like the venue where they cater to the artist the most.
Oh,
Really?
cool.
I mean, they just make it like a thing, bro. It's games, food. They're grilling out all day, making this, big spread for everybody all day. And they just really got the backstage set up. And it's one of those venues where you're like, let's stay here for like 3 days. Let's do a couple
It's the
shows back
best.
to back. And so
gotta get to
that's the
Guilford.
one.
That's
Yeah,
good.
Guilford,
New
New
Hampshire.
Hampshire.
I haven't done a show in New Hampshire yet. I like New Hampshire. I've spent my grandparents lived there for a while. I spent summers in New Hampshire.
Yeah. Oh, that's a
Beautiful.
good place to spend summer.
Beautiful.
Good spot.
Get to New Hampshire, baby.
Go hit that amphitheater. Baby.
Yeah, I gotta go
Yeah.
Guilford.
Amphitheater. Well, we've got some work to do, but maybe a smaller venue in town. We could do it.
At the peak of FGL, were you guys doing arenas?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Are they all kind of the same at a certain point, or they start to feel different?
They kind of are. Yep,
Yeah.
they really are. And then you realize how many places in the country you've been, but you've never really been out of the arena. So you're
Yeah.
just like, man, it does kind of look the same.
Yeah.
And, it is what it is.
Yeah, I think
That's fun.
friends will like hit us up like, "Oh my gosh, you were in wherever Atlanta. How was it?" It's like we were
Right.
there and then we performed and we left. I don't know. But
Yeah, in
Starbucks
and
was
out.
decent.
Right. Exactly.
Like, I don't know. DoorDash was solid there.
Do you like the big arenas or you like the amphitheaters better?
I like to mix it up because
Okay.
because they get redundant after a while. And it's
Yeah.
just like, okay, so yeah, if you can kind of go like 3 months of arenas and 3 months of amphitheaters. But what's been really fun for me now is going back and doing these clubs and these
Yeah.
smaller theaters and just like the places that we fell in love with playing music the first time and
Yeah.
just that like energy and that smell and, all the things.
Like
you're
the
just
bottom
like,
of your
the
shoe
things,
is
yeah.
yeah,
sticky.
you're like, is that a locker room
Yeah.
or a bar mat? I don't know.
Right, yeah. Just showers, just no hot water.
Oh, dude,
Yeah,
it's just
the
so
best.
grungy. But I don't know. There's something about it. And I tell the guys right now, I'm like, yo, I know we're like, it's fourth quarter. We're tired. We've played 65 of these this year, but like, we're not going to be doing this much longer. So enjoy
Yeah.
these. Remember how it was. Let's soak it up. Because the first time all we were doing was looking to the next step, So this time has been cool to just sort of like enjoy it, take it in, and know what's ahead, and know that when you get to the top, it's the journey really is like the fun part, to be honest. So.
That has to be cool, especially as a musician, because you could take advantage of the smaller venues if you wanted to. Like, hey, I'm solo now, smaller venues, but if I want to go unplugged, I can do that. You're not going to go unplugged at the Staples Center,
Right.
but like you can do different things.
Yeah, you can.
Like we even experience that to a degree in comedy. Like when we do theaters, what we do, we call like crowd work. Like that's a little tougher in a theater. You have to repeat what they say so everyone can hear you.
Of course.
But at a comedy club, it's
Right.
so tiny, everyone can hear the whole conversation.
Right.
It's great.
It's so intimate.
Yeah.
It's way better. Why? Yeah, arenas are lame. I
So
don't wanna ever do
let's
them.
not get too big.
Yeah.
I already said, like, I've literally said, if I could make the same amount of money, if you could sell 13,000 tickets in a small club, then I would just stay in small clubs because it's so fun.
Yeah.
Right. Very true. But yeah, you're touring around right now. You got the shows speaking. Where people get tickets, where they see you.
I guess just go to TylerHubbard.com.
TylerHubbard.com.
Or
It's
the
that
old
easy.
Instagram, whatever you go to.
Follow them, everything.
Follow 'em.
If you're
go
8 and
see
under,
'em.
go to TikTok.
Yeah,
Come
Yeah,
to the
yeah,
kids.
yeah.
TikTok. Hey,
Yeah.
bring your parents.
I got a TikTok now.
Song for everyone.
right.
Cool, man. Any last questions? I think.
Oh, I think we do like asking all of our performer friends this.
Yes.
What's on your rider?
Yeah,
Last
that's
question.
good. What's on the right?
Okay. I got to be honest. It's not like that exciting.
Ours isn't either.
It's very much like some basic booze, some chips and guac. I
Guac's
think we
nice.
took the candy. We used to have a bunch of candy on it. And I'd show up and like, why is all this candy? Oh, that was on the rider. Because you sometimes forget to adjust the rider like years. And it's just like, why are we still dealing with Reese's Pieces?
Dude, I wasted so many kind granola bars because I didn't update the rider.
Oh, right. But you know what? This year I did make an update because I said I'm tired of buying weed. And we go to a lot of states where weed is legal.
Ah.
Put it on the rider. So every time I show up at a city that's weed's legal, I got a sack of weed.
There we
sitting
go.
Sack. And I got my chips and guac.
Legal, baby.
My basic booze and sack of weed.
So let's go. You come next time you're in Kansas City, Missouri. Missouri, it's legal now.
See?
Probably the most recent.
Put it on the rider.
So
man.
you're gonna have a garbage bag. Tyler Hubbard, everyone. Thanks so much for coming on, man.
Thank y'all. It was
It was
awesome.
great chatting with you. Getting to know you. We'll hopefully cross paths soon.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, go follow
Thanks,
him.
guys.
See him on the road. All right, another great interview in the books. Let's wrap up with segments, dramatic readings. We got 2 dramatic readings.
Ooh, sent to us via the people.
Now, okay, I'll start us off here because we'll start with the lesser one. But part of the correct opinions email correct@trey.com. Hit us up. We had some funny person, or maybe someone out to get us, who signed us up on the Andrew Tate email list.
Hey, why does it have to be funny?
It was actually nothing funny about it.
Thanks.
Derek, if you cue up some music. So, of course, I see this in the inbox. I'm like, very funny, block. But then I click on a couple and I'm kind of, wait a second.
Start reading.
Maybe there's some nuggets in here.
I'm pretty curious.
I'm raising a son. I want him to be a man. I want to be some little wuss.
You don't want
like our culture's doing now.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
To be taught by a real man.
Ew.
Yep. Hey, did I say you could speak?
Ew.
So this is, we have a few here, but this is Andrew Tate. Subject just reads, just one word, fatherhood. We don't need a lot of words. You get right to the point.
Is this his newsletter?
It's a newsletter.
Great.
Well, that's one thing you call it. I think it's called truth.
It's called a manifesto.
Fatherhood. When I was 8, I lost a winning game at a chess tournament. It was an 11-hour drive to get there, and I blundered and lost a winning position. I told my father it was because I was tired and couldn't sleep in the car. I came third in the tournament, but should have come first. Dad was furious. I remember feeling like crying as he lectured me. Who taught you to make excuses, boy? It wasn't me. Isn't your last name Tate?
What?
What does the paper say? Lost because he was tired, or simply lost? I didn't reply. Answer me, son. It says I lost, Dad.
Nice.
Excuses don't affect the outcome, so excuses can't affect your performance. I was too young to understand and upset.
Yeah.
I like how he even puts in here, like, there's an argument to be said that maybe I was too young. Nonetheless. When we got home, I complained to Mom that Dad was yelling at me for losing. She said he was too hard on me. They had a heated argument as he explained she's a female and doesn't understand the burden of performance.
There it is.
What?
Hey, woman? Abuela? You want a cookie or not? If I was too tired to perform, they would have killed me. He was referencing a few months before when I watched him be attacked.
I'm lost.
What?
My mother told me I didn't have to play chess anymore if Dad was going to upset me. Dad took me out of the house for a week. We stayed in a hotel away from my mother's influence.
What?
He kept me up playing chess till the early hours, 2 or 3 a.m.
What? He's 8?
6 a.m. school every night of the week. Your dad's crazy, Mother would say. In fact, everyone said that. At the time, I didn't know who to believe, but I was exhausted. I cried a few times. He made me play anyway, and made me sleep very little before school. Half of this seems AI generated.
Yeah, what is
I
happening?
cried a couple times. I was very sleepy.
Where are all the bugs? Jeepers.
He set me up a position, white to win in 7 moves. After a few minutes, I found the winning combination, a knight sacrifice. Dad cheered. I was excited. You're more tired now than you were in that tournament, ain't you, boy? Tired is an excuse, son. What's your last name? Tate. Tired or not, you know how to win. Men raise weak sons because they lie down to their wives. I'm paraphrasing because there's crazy words in this.
You're gonna get deplatformed if you read it.
My dad sacrificed his marriage to raise me exceptionally. My mother simply didn't get it. My father lost his wife for me. Am I gonna lose because I'm tired or just lose? Tates know how to win. I type life stories to educate and spread Tateism. Watch my speech to learn more.
Tateism.
So they got divorced?
Yeah, the moral of the story is like, I'm really good at chess, but he lost the love of his life for me.
And now I'm a crazy person. That I can't. He took him to a hotel and made him play chess.
And now every chess tournament I won, I thought of how much I miss my dad because he did not get custody.
My last name is Tate, though. I know that.
It's still Tate.
What?
Well, not legally because she got full custody, but I stuck with it.
Ramirez legally.
It's Ramirez.
What? People support this guy?
I do.
Yeah.
I mean, the podcast is subscribed to the email, so I think we all do.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. So thanks to whoever signed us up for Andrew Tate's newsletter.
Maybe they did as like they wanted us to read it.
Like, hey, you should check some of the stuff out. It was the Uber driver from back in the day.
Yeah, probably.
Makes
Hey,
you think.
a lot of people don't want to hear the truth.
Oh my gosh.
That's a wild story. Just like borderline child abuse. Like, I would keep my son up. He would only sleep 5 hours a night, and I would make sure he learned chess, and we slept in hotels. Anyway, what do you guys think? Watch my speeches.
That sounds like a terrible life. Yeah.
And just for chess?
I know, is chess that important? Chess is not going to get you anywhere in life.
Well, probably not.
Yeah.
Okay, let's end with a real gem here. We got another dramatic reading. Let's go right into it. What do we got?
There's a Facebook post from a woman named Maria. Birthed by fire, under the stars arriving at first light.
Oh my gosh.
What verse is that? When you honor the wisdom of the human body, you experience the potency of creative connection. Bars. Our birthing space was exactly what we wanted and needed. In the darkness and quiet of the night, within the power and presence of the fire witnessed by 2 men and 2 women.
Is this appropriate?
I don't know.
What is happening?
Also, no predicate there. That was just the innocence. The birth story has many magical layers and dimensions. Christopher Nolan. Okay. Today, I am reminded of the intimate... Today, I am reminded of the intimate dance between Zora and myself. At the space of pushing, it was as if time slowed, and I was able to feel, see, and sense the intimate intricacies of the back and forth dance of our bodies' movements together.
I feel that.
I still don't know who Zora is. As I tuned in, I felt the pressure of her head inviting my expansion and strength. I, remembering bouncing in and out of this deep communication space. One moment I was moaning, groaning, and silently screaming, "Get the out of me!" And the next, I was breathing with ease and inviting the grace to move in harmony with her movements. Pronouns are throwing me off. I remember thinking...
Yeah, it's so confused. Like, is Grace the child? Is Zora the child?
Yeah.
Are neither of them the child?
What's the
Zora's gotta be
gender
child.
of Zora? I remember thinking, there is a time to power up and push through. And there is a time to pause, allowing ease to flow through. This particular dance was felt deeply when I tuned into the movements of Zora's body and my own. All of this was amplified by the attuned drumming of my best friend, the potent presence of my midwife, and sturdiness and stability of my husband.
Those are her 2 best friends?
I think.
Okay.
Zora's movements and wisdom within the birth portal are an ongoing invitation to the relational dance of creative connection. Her wisdom is a potent medicine that I am still learning from and integrating. To this day, she has a wiggle dance in her body anytime she hears a beat. Tomorrow marks 1 year of embodied presence with the Zora Rose. And the best part, my personal favorite, #homebirth, #midwives, #fire, #wildwoman.
That's a beautiful. Wow, that was beautiful. All
And,
right,
and a couple touching photos of her like boob out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
you
just-
can do that now.
Yeah.
Derek, if you would you restart that song? And we're just going to cue up Katie. Katie, please describe your experience giving birth as best you can. And go.
I felt the contractions.
Okay.
We were still at home. I realized I was on the floor because I was in so much pain. And I said,
The creative connection, I think.
Yeah.
I said, I think it's time to go to the hospital. I cannot stand up.
Here comes the dance part.
We left. We did have have an entourage of both of our parents sending us on our way, which was interesting. And we got there. There was no room in the inn.
No room in the inn? Wow. I've heard this story before.
Oh my gosh. This is the first time hearing she thinks Thomas is the second company. If he's not good at chess, I'll never talk to him again.
So I had to go walk around outside
Some would call that dancing.
As I was dancing with Thomas.
Yeah. Quicker, get to the end.
And at the end, I was pushing for hours and hours.
What next?
No epidural.
Oh!
He was 9 pounds 4 ounces.
No!
And he just danced on out of there.
Bars.
Wow, very similar. You should Facebook inbox this girl.
Honestly, I feel like that could be more women should do that. They should tell their birth story with like dramatic music in the background.
Yeah.
I'd feel a little empowering.
There was no room at the inn. Is that what you said? Nice.
There was no room for us.
There wasn't a room. Yeah. To walk around.
There's no room at the end.
Oh, that's funny. Good home birth story is great.
Yeah, that is fun.
It kind of sounds like they were outside. It doesn't sound like they were.
Yeah, do they seem outside?
That's a good point.
In the darkness of the night.
Wait, you're right. Look at these pictures. Oh, you're right.
They are outside.
There's just like
there's a fire next to them.
Yeah, there's just
it's like even
fire.
Even Mary and Joseph wanted like a facility.
They're like, I mean, a manger would be nice.
Yeah.
We don't ask for much.
They're like, well, we'd like to be in the inn, at least a manger. They weren't like, you got a kiddie pool back there.
Dang.
Kiddie pools, man. Someone needs to start a small business and make a home birth pool that doesn't have like Spider-Man on it. I think that would help.
For sure have those.
No, I've seen too many of those. The little kiddie pools. Like, come on, let's get a little more aesthetic pool here. You're gonna have your child in it. You see it? They're like bright. They're like turquoise. Come on.
I've definitely seen like home birth pools, but I love the idea of a woman giving birth in a Spider-Man
pool. Absolutely. They just blow up their little kids. It's got Olaf on it. Let it go.
Even better is like the beginning of the summer, some neighbor was like, hey, if you ever want to use the pool, just let us know. You cash that in mid-January. Hey, can we use your pool? Really? Catch them back there just giving a birth in it.
That's actually so funny. Ew. Guys, seriously, if you ever need any of our stuff for any reason, your new parents, please help yourself. They return it back with like blood all over it. Like, where's the 4th kid? It's an elf.
Different dimensions. That was fun, though.
Okay, that's fun. Thank you, guys. Hit us up, correct@training.com. Come see us on the road. And hope you're having a lovely holiday season. See you guys.
Unless, of course, this comes out at a different time.
Yeah.
Well, there's a holiday on the way.
Always holidays.
Always holidays.
Have fun celebrating it.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Celebration. Correct opinion.